for 3. We went 0 for 2 on the longs, and then we hit that short pretty good.
Intel,
so
I'm seeing here stuff about Intel.
Let's see what Intel.
Hold on. I'm loading. Intel, there's something here. Intel in early talks to add AMD. Here it is. Intel in early talks to add AMD as Foundry customer. Oh there boy, you go. That is huge.
That's a customer.
That's gonna finally. There we go. Finally, they got somebody to buy their stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Great news for Intel.
There we go. AMD. I mean, hey, Intel, big time move. There it is. Breakout. Never mind my trade review. We only had 2 wrong names. How many did we have today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we go 5 for 7 on the names. So that's what we traded. Never mind what we got going on for a trade review. Intel's
really going, Joey.
Really ripping. Should we send it over to the boys?
We're going to send it over to the big boys right now, man.
All right, send it over. That's what we got going on. Bitcoin, recover.
Peace.
Jesus.
Well, that's the answer you were looking for.
Yeah. I punched long late.
Foundry, all they had to say was they have a customer for their Foundry business. This has been the issue. The Foundry business for Intel is bleeding money. Bleeding. Welcome, everybody. But they're losing billions of dollars. And what's wrong with my mic? My mic apparently sucks. But anyways, they've been bleeding money in their Foundry business. This is huge for them if they can get a big customer. It's not NVIDIA, but AMD.
AMD also up.
No, I mean
not much.
Yeah, but AMD's big. No, I mean.
No, I'm saying AMD, the stock is up slightly.
You know, why would AMD go?
Andre.
Why would AMD go up on that? Go over to AMD. I'm curious as to why AMD would get a bump on the news.
Well, more, I don't know, cheaper production, made in the United States.
Yeah,
not cheaper, but
that
maybe
can help them.
President Trump is like, okay, you're doing this here. Maybe there's something for you or whatever. But there it goes, man. We are nicely in the money right now on this
36
trade.
is resistance from.
Yeah, let's just get it figured out. I mean, when you hear news like that, I'm not even in the chat, so I'm like, I got to get in the chat right now. I was like, let me get this earpiece in. Let me punch long right now, and there it is right now. So we're gonna figure this all out. But thank you for joining us again here. We've got some big winners on, man, and I'm pretty proud of doing this. We just punched into the long, and there it goes. So we both got this trade. Let's see what happens. You never know where your bread is buttered, you know. And this is just given. So I'm already out, literally at this price, $35.70. So there it goes. Yes, Intel.
I'm out in front of 36.
We took a big. Oh no, sorry, I meant.
I want to trim.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, we're talking the same thing. I didn't know if I meant this trade. I'm not sure how long this is going to go for right now. I'm just starting to slowly get some out. I still have like 70% of this trade. So let's go Intel, man. Where is it going to end up here? We don't know, but nice move upside there for Intel. Let's go. Good trading right there. Thanks for bringing it back over here, guys. I heard you guys had a bang up show there. I'm going to get into the chat right now. Government shutdown or not, Intel not shutting down. Intel's making deals, man. This guy Lip Bhutan is like a deal maker. That is for sure. I mean, everything that we thought about Intel seems to be pretty true, right? I mean, he went out and got money from NVIDIA. He went out and got money from, looks like AMD is going to give him some kind of money here to start producing in the Foundry. So we're going to check that. Got money from the U.S. government. So yeah, this is my new hero right now. Thank you, Lip, for all of this, because there we go. They're going to the upside, and I think it's a good thing for AMD, but you could see, Neil and I sort of mentioned,
it makes sense. It gives them that the whole 1-for-1 they were talking about for production. It gives them gets them out of that tariff deal. So that makes sense.
I'm going to get into this chat here ASAP. And
I'm just I covered in front of the high of the day, but I'm also going to.
Where is the one I'm looking to get into?
There we go.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, look, I'm gonna buy the dip here back into 35, but it double tapped 35.8 on Intel. Just go all the way. Whoops, 15-minute chart.
Yeah,
go all the way back. This is pretty much where we were on the 26th. So Friday of last week, this is where we bounced into. So I want to buy the dips back into 35 and be covering out in front of 36. I also, after I covered the position, I quickly logged into my personal account because I actually didn't, like I was sitting in front of 37 to cover on Intel, and I never got filled on last Friday. So in my personal account, I just took 10% out.
You know, Intel's coming right
wherever
back.
It was, right? Like it just didn't. I was like, yeah, I didn't get any out last time, and this is a resistance area on Intel. So in the PA, I just took 10% off.
Yeah.
But I was literally like seconds after I got out of this, and now I'm going to look for 35 to
Look,
pull
I mean,
right
when
back
stocks
in,
come up to levels, guys, like honestly, I mean,
Yeah, you gotta respect
it's like I got it some out at 30, some out at 35.80, which we just talked about again there, as Neil showed you the levels. So I'm just going to like. This is going to look like a Christmas tree, like at the end of the day, all these red and greens everywhere here. But you know, don't know really where this is going to go. Obviously, we like the story here. I'm starting to piece this out more and more. Intel, my second trade of the day now. We hit the TQQs, and then now we're hitting Intel, so it's going to be a good day here. Let's just see if it comes back against us at this point. Right now, nice little move there. Huge volume, just indicating right now. And again, here's the story, man. So we're going to give this to you live, and we're going to go over to Sharif. We're going to talk about all the normal stories as per usual, but there it is right there. Intel shares are trading higher after Semaphore. I don't even know, I guess that's a newspaper or whatever, website, reported that the company is in early talks to add AMD as a Foundry customer. I think the interesting thing here is this, early talks, but hey man, at the end of the day, boom goes a dynamite, nice upside play there, giving us an opportunity, or those who didn't, an opportunity to get out something on their personal, and we'll wait to see now if Intel takes it out. I mean, if this story is true, that's the thing, early talks, if this story is true, you could say when moon for Intel, because this is the news that you're looking for. You want news. We've seen Intel move huge on stories. So we'll just get this going, man. Semaphore, new report out that Intel is thinking about adding. It's
a validation for their Foundry business to be at the point that they can actually onboard a large customer. Like that's exactly what they've needed for quite some time. So this is huge for them. Like I said, bleeding billions of dollars in the Foundry business, and I think this is great news. I mean, taking some off in the long term is one thing, but if this dares to dip on this news, I think you got to go into some longs.
Is AMD ripping? We just looked at it.
AMD's not really ripping.
Yeah, well,
the only thing, I mean, Intel's moving more than everything
hold on a second.
else.
What is NVIDIA thinking about all of this? Let's just see what NVIDIA's thinking. Oh, NVIDIA's like, whatever, man. We've already got our $100 million or $1 billion. No, they did $5. They did $5 billion into Intel's Foundry. So, yeah, NVIDIA seems to be a nothing burger right there. Look, at the end of the day, we know AMD is producing inferior chips to NVIDIA. It doesn't mean that it's not a great opportunity to go long on AMD. It's just, the NVIDIA story is a little different than this. So, AMD might be prime for a breakout. You know, we had Brian on last night and we talked about Microsoft v. AMD. He preferred Microsoft, but you know, if AMD gets some good news, it definitely has a nice base here between 150 to 155. So I'd say let's rock and roll here with AMD and see if that wants to go to the long side. Marvell is launching. Why is that? Marvell does have a deal with, no, it's not launching really, but Marvell does have deals with all of these guys as well for the silicon in the chips as well. So that should be good. Oh, Marvell downgraded it. Okay, I don't know what the... Marvell, look, these stocks are what they are. Marvell's a different story altogether. We had gotten a piece out right here. I think Marvell is still eligible, if you haven't got anything out, to get something out on Marvell above the 200 period moving average. I don't know. I just saw someone said Marvell in there, so it got me excited because I own the shares. But yeah, nothing happening right now for MRVL. But yeah, man. Happy, joy. A couple more outs there on Intel. I still have exactly half of this position left.
Ren and Stimpy.
Well, yeah, exactly. Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, they're not back. They rebooted Beavis and Butthead on Comedy Central. No, was it Comedy Central? MTV? I don't know. Must be MTV. Yeah, there's a few. I haven't seen any new ones, but the newest South Parks are pretty fun.
Ren and Stimpy is probably way older than I think.
Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah, that's probably much older.
Yeah, 30 years. Well, more than that. Maybe 30 to 40 years old.
Yeah, we were in high school, I think. When
Ren and Stimpy, but
I think we're in high school, man.
So that's 30 years.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like we're in high school. Yeah. Anyways, let's get to the rundown.
Tesla's up 4%, by the way.
Tesla's insane.
Tesla's at 460 right now.
Go Tesla.
Maybe they made a deal with the Foundry with Intel or something. Intel's going to be building Tesla chips now. That's not true.
No.
Don't. That's not true. All right. So we've got drills, we've got vacuums, we've got everything happening right now live on air. And by the way,
Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
What is this line?
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. I would never show. I would wonder if I show that to my kids now, what they would think about Ren and Stimpy. I'm gonna take another out right now. We haven't had any outs in Intel, so there it is. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Aaron wouldn't like it. I know.
I don't think many. Yeah, it's a different kind of. It's not like a real comedy, is it? It's kind of just a silly, stupid one.
It's.
All right, let's go back over, see what Sharif's doing. Might as well get on with the show here. It's 2:10 right now. Let's go talk about names you want us to look at.
The ES is into highs, guys. Dare I say we are at all-time highs here on the ES, breaking out into 67.60 on the back of that new headline. The NQ as well, reclaiming 25,000, at least for now, up 0.43. The Dow as well, breaking back above 46,700. It's also green on the day, but barely up 0.6%. 0.05%, excuse me. And the last here, the Russell 2000, just barely negative on the day, down 0.17. Let's start, though, first with LAC. Lithium America is the first ticker, as decided by you. Big day today for Lithium America. It's been a big few, I want to say last week or so, up 23.25% today on news that the U.S. government is taking a 5% ownership stake into the company, as well as into that Thacker Pass project, guys. The market liking that to the tune of 23% and change.
You know what? I'm surprised we didn't make a joke about that earlier. I know two Thackers, but anyways, I'm not. We have a friend with that name. But LAC, unfortunately for Lithium Americas, the news got sold. And I know it's up 23%, but it dipped right into, it ended up bouncing off support and getting to view up. I didn't hold long enough past the volume weighted average price to be like muted. It should have been twice as good as it was, but it'll just have to be an okay dip buy. This is not, I don't feel like this isn't news. Like the last time it gapped up to this same area, it failed $8 and failed $7.50. So it just seems like there's profit takers in that range. And the better play might be to allow it to dip down and maybe buy the dip. I think once the U.S. government decides that they want you to win, it's been generally a safe thing to buy off support. And unfortunately here, support might not be that close. Like it showed you $5 before. Ideally, let it settle down a day or two and it can put in some kind of a higher low. I'd love for that to be here, like 6.25, right? Like big key level, resistance, resistance, support, support. I'd love for 625 to hold. Then you get a higher low and you're all good to go. That might be a tomorrow play. So look for 6.25 on LAC to hold. As I said, I think this is good news. It's always good news when you have essentially the country behind you and wanting this company to work. And I get it. Yeah. It's not a U.S. company. It's a Canadian company, but truth still holds here. Probably a little frothy, and a lot of people looking at what was a $3 stock last week, and every time it gets past $7, they're taking profit. Why not? It's a double up. Once it chews through that kind of profit taking, it can stabilize and maybe make a second run here. But yeah, you had to buy the dip today because most of the action off the open was selling.
All right, yeah, I mean, I think it's just very, very similar talk there. We got as high as $8, and you know, on the daily chart, we've sort of been up here before, so the fade happens. But still, man, I mean, anybody that was buying this dip, I mean, it's a good dip buy, and you guys did it. So that was a great move higher, right into this level, and it just goes all the way back to April of 24, actually. So yeah. Seems important to me. I think it goes higher through this level. I like LAC now. MP is another name there. We saw them, MP Materials, go higher as well and continue the flow. There's so much deal talk right now in the market. Obi and I were talking about this yesterday. It's like, EA, bang, and there was a couple moves yesterday that just like spiked up. Target was another example there, and it's just like there's all this money that's trying to flow in here. Like, look, the government is shut down. Nasdaq up 0.4, government shut down. ES up 0.3. So I mean, imagine when this world is actually somewhat productive, what's going to happen here. So I like MP Metals. I think it continues to work, and I like LAC as well. I like both of these names. USAR was a name that sort of hit the scanners a little bit earlier today as well. So this could have been a name that eventually winds up breaking out if they look to invest anywhere here as well. So I like the space. I think we're in deal making mayhem right now. I mean, look at copper. Copper, we talked about this a couple of days ago as well. This name just continues to cook. I mean, gold's up. Gold's breaking all-time highs. You want to talk about gold? Copper just says F you to gold. I mean, this is like, look. Can you believe this? Joey options over here? How can you tell me to buy options on this thing, man? Where's my call options? I mean, come on, Joe.
Didn't Raheem say, though?
It's Raheem.
I'm pretty sure Raheem did.
No, I'm playing around. Yeah, Raheem's been talking about copper. But the thing is that this is CopEx. It's just like some of the stocks. We saw FCX and all that stuff. But yeah, Raheem, our mining guy for sure, been talking all about different metals. So shout out to Raheem. And maybe next time he's in here, we'll ask him about this extension. But yeah, great call there, OCI Raheem. Not so great with his Baltimore Ravens, but right there, it's a nice play on copper as we continue to go, man. We are excited.
I haven't talked any trash to him over that, by the way. I feel bad because
they have 7 defensive starters out.
I thought it's up to 8.
And Lamar. Oh, maybe.
I think it's up to 8.
And then Lamar is out too. And the thing about the Ravens is I thought they looked. I didn't know their defense was that questionable, but I feel like they could have obviously beaten the Bills there, and then they screwed that up, and now they have all these injuries. So I think the Ravens need to reset. I'm not even sure. I don't know what the difference between how serious Lamar's injury is.
Well, that's a big deal.
If it's serious, they might just shut it down and just work on next year. I don't know.
Well, the Ravens.
But they're paying Henry.
Look, man, the Ravens might have 8 starters out.
Yeah.
But you know what? BTCC has 0 hacks and 0 excuses over 14 years, unlike the Baltimore Ravens. BTCC.com delivers like the Buffalo Bills when others don't.
Yeah.
Trade Bitcoin up to 500x, even Tesla, gold, and Forex. And with smart copy trading, you don't just watch the pros, you can trade like them. Regulated in the USA, Canada, and Europe, and trusted by 6.8 million traders. And there's a Trader TV Live exclusive, everybody. You can scan the QR code, or you can click the link in the description for a 15% deposit bonus. BTCC.com, where the pros trade, and now so can you. There we go. I was going to make it, whatever. I had to throw my Bills in there. We look fantastic. #1 team. The Bills in Philly, it's like going to be a lot of chalk.
Yep.
But I do feel like if you were
Is that today?
No.
Oh, no.
No, but if you were looking for a point to get props on a team that's not one of those two, like now would be the time. Like it's probably your best opportunity to get odds on Green Bay or Baltimore if you like those two
definitely
teams.
on Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay went from Super Bowl favorites. We'll have to check it out. We'll check it out. Let's go on this show, and then we'll talk more football as we go. I'm actually interested to see
curious what the props are.
How bad Green Bay has gone through. What's up, Monica? We'll talk about Tesla soon.
Let's get Tesla in there.
All right, before we go on to the next topic, guys, let's talk a little bit more about Intel as Semaphore. The reporting agency Semaphore is the one responsible for this headline. They say it's as follows. So, AMD's chips that are currently being produced by Taiwan Semi, looking possibly here to shift some of that to Intel. It's unclear how much of their manufacturing would shift to Intel if the two companies reach a deal to make this a little bit bigger, or whether it would come with a direct investment by AMD similar to the deals cut by other companies. It is possible that no agreement will be reached, people familiar with the matter said, but it is more along the lines of AMD trying to get into the good graces of the administration by shifting some of the production of its less advanced chips from Taiwan Semi to Intel to reshore and obviously use a domestic producer. So this being reported here by Semaphore, the originating news agency. Now, on to the next topic. Tesla at the day high right now, 461.19 day high, up 3.61%. A couple of headlines on this one. They increased their prices for U.S. models as a result of the $7,500 EV tax credit ending yesterday. If you signed a bill of sale or dropped a down payment yesterday, you're still entitled for that $7,500 tax credit. Separately, we got delivery numbers from Europe, and a very good look in most jurisdictions, guys, in Europe, with the exception of Sweden, where Tesla continues to bleed sales.
So just quickly before we go to Tesla, this feels like it's getting a little toppy. Like the initial candle on Intel is still the high, and it's not really, like every time it gets above 35.6, you want it to close a 3-minute candle above that price. All of these are topping tail candles. I'm going to jump out just underneath break even, maybe wait for 35 or VWAP to get in again, or until we get closes above 35.6. Intel looks gorgeous. But anyways, we can talk more Intel when we're done the rundown. Tesla, the breakout has happened. We're talking almost blue sky setup here. You have to go back to my birthday till the stock was anywhere near this price, and that's Boxing Day, by the way. And that's the 470 level, which I think is obviously the next stop. It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to stay wrong. I was looking for one thing and one thing only this morning, a failed breakout of the high. The second it held it, I was out, and this stock went absolutely ham. I'm happy because I own some Tesla, but I can tell you with 100% certainty, I will be taking some profit. I mean, this is a local breakout, so not today, because if it closes above the breakout, let it make the next move, but certainly into this high, 480. I think that's a great place to ring the register. if you bought this one down at 220, or you bought it off the 300 level, or you bought this breakout at 350, whichever one, the fact that you're going to get a run sometime tomorrow, Friday, whenever, into this all-time high is fantastic. So congrats on Tesla buyers. You reward yourself by taking some profit.
Yeah, I don't know. I was asked like why I didn't trade it today. Definitely should have. I mean, the problem is I was thinking dead red all day, right? And the only trade I had earlier was the TQs. Obviously now we're at Intel, you can see that. But I should have this move right into here. This move, so there's the rip on it, right? Forget about, as Neil said, like sometimes you'll miss that first trade, that's fine. Because it goes up and down $5 or whatever to begin with, right? Up to 447, back down in. But it's once you realize that we're barcoding right there, you have basically two trades, and that is to get long there off VWAP if you want to, and then you might have got stopped out on that kind of a break, but I don't know where the 50 period was at that time, but close enough. So I think you'd almost have to be a little lucky or something to be in that, or really a believer of this potential move. But again, the market was red. It started to fall down earlier on, and I'll show you the Nasdaq trade that I had. We covered it, so we didn't have to worry about this move up, but I guess when we covered it, we should have started to look long. And with Tesla being up and green on the day, probably like Palantir, I bet you it has the same kind of a VWAP bounce potentially. There it is, nice upside move. I think it risking $1 or $2 to make 10. I mean, sure, it's hindsight, but yeah, I'm normally in this, so I feel bad not being in it. Like normally we've had numerous ins and outs on a name like this today, especially when it bases so perfectly, and then came back in. So I wasn't here until about 12:30 or so. So I did have an opportunity. I wasn't here for this, but this 50 period moving average looks pretty sweet. I'm not sure coming into right now what it's going to do, because if you look at the daily chart, it's breaking out. So we need to look for a next level of resistance, right? Which would be up and around here, 470. So if this dipped down in, where do we think it may stop at? Well, that would be that 450 level again. So yeah, Tesla, wow. I mean, this name is just printing more millionaires, it seems like, every day. Like, this is just another monster move. This name was just 360 back September 11th. Like, sorry about that date. I should have said September 12th. But there it is. Boom. Right there to the upside, breaking out off that level. So what is going to happen when this thing takes down 480? I think you got to like Tesla. You got to stay long. We've been talking about that for a while. No matter what you think of the political affiliations or whatever with Musk and Trump, and if they're friends or not, this is really giving you an opportunity. I think this is when they were fighting, and then it came back in, and then since then, it's just been basically a rocket to the north side. Like, what about full self-drive? What about robo-taxis? What about Optimus? What about Starlink? Like, there's so many opportunities here. What about his pay package now? Like, all of this stuff, talk about motivation. This dude wants to stay the richest man in the world. This man is going to do everything he can to get Tesla's price where it needs to be. And I think right now, Tesla is definitely working out. And great stock there. There it goes. Nice upside play. Congratulations to anybody that has Tesla today. Pretty clean off that open, but missed opportunities for sure. There's a lot of that stuff in today's market, I feel like. All right, next.
Including this one, apparently.
Yeah. Next story, Open Door. I'm getting a headache.
No major headline today, guys, on Open Door, but it's up 2% on the day, well off the highs. It tested that 880 level, now dropping aggressively into 815. New CEO Kaz Najatian posting on X. At Open Door, we want you to love your home. Starting today, Open Door buyers get exclusive benefits. 1, you get a 7-day home test drive. 2, you get a 100-day home warranty. This is just the beginning, he writes on X. Shout out to the Canadian Kaz.
I have to admit, we were just talking about the missed opportunities. This was a real missed opportunity short on Open Door. I didn't really have a reason, I don't think, to have been looking at it, at least in the morning. So like, I've never had that long, but it goes right into the last place that it sold off. Like right on Monday, it sold off this level almost to the penny, $8.80, which was the Friday. It's your Friday close level. And then it sells off there. You trend into that level and then pull back. I don't know, my 3-minute chart hates me today on literally just this stock, so I can't really draw you the trend line. But suffice to say, when this breaks that trend, it just absolutely craters. Someone asked me in the chat if I would buy it off of support on Open Door. It's not a ridiculous look, like 780 down here is support, and then maybe it starts at like $8. But you've got some room to go before you get down to support today. So let's see what it looks like if it gets down there. Because if anything, I can tell you that I would have been looking short. Like I would have been looking short on the stock. I would not have been looking long today. Because then you had to have it at the open. Once it moved up, to me, you got a mean reversion trade. Certainly, if I was short, you take profits off in front of this 8. If it breaks 8, maybe we look for something bouncing off 780 later this afternoon. That could be a bit of a play. But yeah, that was a pretty good reversion on open door, which I think it's showing you lower highs. Like remember the $11 selling. And it's on the back end of this trade. So even when it bounces, it's putting in lower highs on open door. You got to be careful of that. If you're holding on to this, and you're like, okay, like open door, it keeps on bouncing. Yeah, it keeps on bouncing off trend. And this is trend support from the initial pullback on when this first went meme crazy. Initial pull, it's holding this trend really well. But it's also holding that trend with lower highs. And the day that this breaks, like to tell you that I'd favor short, like who cares? I would favor short. There's going to be a lot of like big short sellers that are going to lean on this thing when it breaks this trend line. So that's why we say no one went broke taking profit. If this loses trend, it could drop $2 in a day or two. Just be careful.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about open door, but I just want to let everybody know, like I just got a couple more outs at 40, one at 43, one at 42 for Intel. They're not. It was just one was 5 minutes ago and one was just now. So I don't know if you might have saw that. I just took another fill right now, and I'm going to wait for 49s, and then that's where the 21 period moving average is. I don't think it really matters when it's extending like this, but just noticing that these tops are getting pretty heavy, obviously at 35.60 and change. So if we can get something out on the way up, we're going to do that. We now have about a third left of this initial buy, and we could have bought it lower too. So it kind of missed that opportunity, so kind of feel like about that one. All right, so you know what I actually want to look at? What about that Better stock? There was Better Home. This was another name that was an Eric Jackson look. So this is still up 5% and holding out pretty decently. This might be a better play. I don't know about better than open door. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's trying to hold 50. So that would be something to watch out for. Look, I mean, if it's going to have to come down 20% to test those levels. So I'm not sure if that's going to be happening, but you got to watch out for that. That's another one of these plays. Similarly, pumped or treated as open door. Yeah, look, $8. So it's been around here. It's been like 7, 8, 9. For a while here, and I don't know if I want to get too excited until we break that 11. I know that's a huge move from here, so the next thing you want to do is just make sure that we hold this $7 level, which we've now held 3 times. So I don't think there's anything wrong with going long again. If it comes back into that area, then you're one story away from this popping one more time. So we have some insider buying on the name. I saw that yesterday. I still like open door. I mean, 140 million shares. I just don't know if it's the trade for the housing sort of kindling in the United States that we think that it is. But I like Oscar Health, which is again like an app for trying to change the way businesses run in the health. I mean, this has been a pretty hot stock recently off their earnings play and just trying to get back above. But again, these new names, Robinhood, Oscar Health, Open Door, just apps that are making traditional finance and traditional opportunities a little easier or for the newer generation. So yeah, open door. I mean, I don't know. I'm not selling my house, and we don't have open door around here. But if I did, I probably would look into it. I don't know. It's anything to make things easier, less paperwork and whatnot. So I like open door. I just would like to see it at that $7 mark. And then here comes Intel.
I punched out. When it broke that break even for me. I just
35 for Intel now. I think that's going to be the out for me. We'll give back like maybe a third of what we made if it winds up breaking that level, but here it comes in Intel. I want to give it another chance down here at $35. So that's what I'm going to do with Intel. All right, BBAI time.
What is it? Up over 4%, but off the highs, rejecting 7 on the day. No real headline, but there is unusual call volume here. The October 3rd $7 calls and the October 31st $6.50 calls are the most active options, with volume on those strikes near 12,200 contracts. Also, guys, the put call ratio is 0.14, with earnings for Big Bear AI expected, guys, November 4th.
You know what, BBAI, that's about as close as you need to be to the 50 period. Like it trended into the 200 period moving average, broke trend and climbed all the way to $8. So it gets to that $8 level, rejects, pulls back, effectively bounces off. Let's just call it the 50-period moving average. Didn't quite get there, but I mean, come on. Like, we're splitting hairs at this point. It's bouncing off the 50-period reversing trend, so why not? Like, I think, I don't know why I didn't look at this today. Maybe there was no big enough catalyst, but that's a pretty standard. You get one-day bounce, play the continuation, and now you're biased long till it gets to $8. So I'd play that. Rounded bottom here. You close above 670. That confirms that you're holding higher lows, and once we do that, look bias long till it gets to 8 again on BBI. It's just what it does. So you play these things on momentum and direction, and whether the catalyst happens to be options or not seems to be good enough. So yeah, this one looks good. I don't see much of a trade here today because it looks like it might lose this bid. I'm not really thinking short. So yeah, probably more of a tomorrow or Friday continuation play, at least until it gets to $8, right? Like $8, respect the level it's been selling up there.
We've been talking about Big Bear AI for a while. Obviously at 650, I was asked the question 2 days ago. I said yes, buy it at some 650s. Whether or not you did or not, I don't know. I still think there's moves to the upside. I asked Brian about this yesterday as well, and we were just kind of like, it's pulled back into the 50-period moving average. My whole thing is no earnings, obviously a big problem. These guys don't make money, but they just got that deal with the Navy. So I think that if that can snowball into better opportunities for Big Bear AI, it's worth it. But their report not till early November, so you got to go through all of October. And if the market's going to dance around a bit, this could get hit. But I like Big Bear AI, 22% short float. I am stamping the long in Big Bear AI, but over 3.8 million concussions are reported every year in the United States, yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGen, is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more, schedule a meeting, scan that QR code. It's Oragenics time. If you have any questions about concussions, go find it. It's listed on the NYSE symbol OGEN. I changed my mind about Intel, by the way. Here comes Intel right back in. All I'm doing is taking more long right here. I actually want to see about this VWAP down here at 34.60. We made money on it. We're still up, even holding this right now against us. I'm not playing this as a P&L trade or anything like that. We had a huge move up. Obviously, the story is now out there. Let's see if it does get some juice. I just don't want to punch out now and that sort of be the thing. So I'm just going to wait for VWAP. I mean, that's been a trade that I've waited for a long time. We'll see if it comes back in. Also, the 200 periods at 50 cents. So if it does break below 34.50, then we can get out. But, again, good movement to the top side there, 35.80. We do have some outs up there. We're looking to get out higher if this pops, but we averaged in. Our average price 35.23, willing to sit in this one. I still only have like about a third or so of the position that I had initially, but I'm gonna layer into this Intel until we see what happens at VWAP. It's fine if it goes down. There's a lot of negativity surrounding the name, right? So I just think that there could be some juice left in this play, so I'm gonna give it another 50 cents. And if we lose, we'll give back what we made. So I'm just taking a shot here with Intel.
I'm only chuckling because of the super chat here, but
good. What is it?
Let's get to it. We'll get back to that in a quick little second. But thank you, Willis Addison. Speaking of BBAI, I'm only reading this because you sent the super chat. The markets right now have. First of all, I have no idea what that means.
A BBL, Brazilian
Of course not.
lift.
I was pretending I didn't.
Oh, okay. We can say it.
No, I was going to pretend I had no idea. I was going to be sheepish about it. But no, it's BBL. Why not? Market is definitely getting lifted today. But here's why.
Shout out to Cardi B.
No, but here's why I don't think it's trash. Like, I'm not calling BBL is fake. The market is real. The market is real, and the last time there was a government shutdown, the market actually was a rally and it was a buying opportunity. Yeah. So I think that's more real than a fake Brazilian butt lift. But to each their own. No judgment here. And hopefully I actually hope Meta continues to buck the trend because I think we're going to get a good opportunity to buy this stock.
Talking about BBL, eh, boys? All right. Well, Meta is down 2% today, off the lows, tested 710, back up and knocking on the door of 720. No real headline today on Meta except to say that they are advancing, or accelerating, I should say, the design and production of their own in-house chip called Meta Training Inference Accelerator, MTIA, the acronym there, supposed to be built by Broadcom, boys.
Okay, so Intel's starting to bounce back a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, we had sort of looked at Meta before. I think Meta is just in the penalty box for some reason here, and I don't think their Oculus talk went very well. I don't think those Meta glasses were very well received. It kind of makes me think about that whole metaverse where they dumped all that money into it for no reason. Not that there's no reason. I mean, obviously the stock is very much appreciated to the upside there. But like, I have an Oculus, but I think I have Gen 1. It's good. I mean, I like it, but the kids don't. They use it. It's just not that much. I don't know if it's. I just think there needs to be more coming from it at some point. And look, I don't use it enough, so I don't know enough about it. But at the end of the day, it's in the penalty box pretty good, man. You're down 10% now, right? 800 down to 720. That's exactly that 10%. So I think it goes further. And you know, the air's definitely come out of this name. Is it worth buying if you don't own any? Probably. But my sort of wagon is full on Meta. So I'm not, bouncing. This is a great area. This is what I mean. Could be a buy the dip opportunity. You just have to ask yourself, what does it really have going for it? Obviously it has Instagram. It has Facebook, if that's still a thing. There's WhatsApp monetization coming. And then there's the new product launches, and I'm probably missing about a million other things.
Well, they're the new world of for everyone that talks about the disruption of Alphabet and advertising. Well, Meta's kind of the new world, one of the new worlds for that. Now, ultimately, look, on a weekly chart, about 655 is the 50 period on the daily, and then on the daily chart, 666 is the 200 period moving average. So once now that we've broken under the September low, that becomes within spitting distance. I just think it becomes a value play underneath $700 to buy the dip out in front of that level. So as far as Meta goes, when we have a market that's up 0.5, and let's be real, this is what the Nasdaq looks like today. If the Nasdaq looks like this and you're 0.2 to the downside, I'm not saying I'm rushing out and going to buy it today. And ultimately, Meta, I do believe, is in the penalty box. But once it's under $700, it starts to get into a range I think is going to be a good value buy. So yeah, not bad climbing back up because the market's trying to drag it higher. It's not like it's alone, though, in terms of maybe not having, well, load up. Yeah, not having the day that you would expect. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I was about to tell you that Apple had been pulling back today as well, but no, Apple went right back into being green, so forget about that. Maybe it is just Meta that's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because when the last I had looked at Apple earlier this morning, it was threatening to go red, and it never did. It stayed green. So this is just a Meta story. Microsoft, we were talking about earlier, that's pretty strong. That's actually breaking out a little bit. So if you're looking at other Mag 7 names that have been a little bit out of favor, it's kind of a choppy stock there, Microsoft, but it's more of a consolidation up here. This is breaking out on the daily chart. You're like one push away from Microsoft making this 520 break. So sometimes money shifts from one to the other. In this particular case, Meta out for a little bit and then it moves on to the next. That's just how it goes. Mag 7 don't move together anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't. Intel's on the way back up, by the way. So just to talk about what's going on right now, we'll see if this goes back up to the upside here with Intel. So we'll give this a little bit of a shot just to see. I do have an offer at 28 to get out of a little bit of this trade in case it doesn't move the way I thought it would. But for now, yeah, Intel nicely cooking here to the upside through 35.20. Good hold. Like I said, we did not want to get out there at 35 flat. It was too easy of a price. That's all. So instead we have a button for it. I'll hit it. But we didn't really reload it that much because like my average price was 30. Now my average price is 23s. So it wasn't like a huge reload, as I was saying. I wanted to get more if we fell into this area and then using VWAP as a potential out. So yeah, that's what we're doing right there. But yeah, nice move there to the downside. That was going on. So we'll figure out where we're going now. But Intel, nice upside play here. We'll see if it can hold out $35 on that one. All right, we're done. We're done running all through all of that. There was something I wanted to talk about before, and now I just can't remember what it is. But Eli Lilly, by the way. Oh man. This stock caught fire right now. Like, I don't know what is going on with Eli Lilly. That's up 9%. Well, was up 9%.
Who's news?
Right there. Yeah, no, I know, but like that's just a monster. Like, no, I know there was news, but that just seems like
it's the only drug company
crackheaded move right there.
It's the only drug company that I would want to own. Out of the, well, I shouldn't say the big ones. I know Pfizer, like everything is trying to catch off the bottom, but these guys have, they're doing it right. They got the biggest drug out there. They have the means to actually produce it, which their competitors don't. It's effective. It's just first mover advantage. You got everything you want. Then they got a pipeline to back it up as well. It's not like they're just only relying on one thing. So I like Eli Lilly. I was asked about Reddit. And Reddit, yeah, I know the market's having a good day, but Reddit's taking it on the chin. You're down double digits today on Reddit. And my simple answer to the question is, do I think it's a buy? When you lose the 50 period on news, it's a wait and see. Like, let the buy, unless if it was down, if this had tanked, and of course it wouldn't do this, if it had tanked all the way to the 200 period, which is a huge level, like this 160 area, that's a monster level on Reddit. Like, look at the support here, look at the breakdown, look at the breakout. Like, that would be an auto dip buy. Like, you just dip buy a level like that because it's so huge. Now, let it settle down for a couple of days. If it can hold on to 200, maybe you get a little relief rally play. But I think you're going to have an opportunity in Reddit here, but I'd let it fall a little bit more. You know, the day where it loses a major trend line is not usually the day that I want to pick it up. If it's a more speculative play, if it's a company that it's like they're printing money and there's no concern about the valuation in my sense, then yeah, sure, you buy it on almost any kind of a dip. But I don't consider Reddit to be in that category for me. So yeah, kind of a hard pass for today, but maybe next week this one will have settled down enough to try to take a shot at them. And the concerns were over ChatGPT and how much search volume being driven. And unfortunately, this one might be in the penalty box for a little bit.
All right, guys. Again, let's just props it up right there. Like I, for those of you that held, there goes Intel right now. So I mean, boom and boom. We have two trades today. All right, two ideas. We have the TQQ short, which we lost. Right when we went out, we lost. Right, that last trade, that was bad. But that was a big one, still holding the day. I'm still up double on TQs that I'm up on Intel, but this is my next play right there. I just wish that was more of a reload, but there it goes, right back there, right up to the upside, and then we're going back up. So nice move there for the stock. We'll see if it can get a little bit higher now, and then we can think about getting out of the rest of it. But looking to see if we can get back into this 50-60 area. I still have that 49. I still have that 58 waiting to do there. So that's what that trade is. So I see what you're saying there, Jay Lee. Love that you want me to join you with this TQQ trade short. The only problem for me is I gotta go get some water. I'm starting to get that little bug in the throat here right now, but I've had that for a minute, so hopefully we don't pass this thing around. Obi was actually sick all weekend, by the way. And then you had him, you were not feeling well either, but then Obi came in. What day is today?
Well, he told me it was like
Wednesday. So yeah,
3-day bug.
Yeah, he comes in there and he's sitting there and I'm like, dude, you're filling in for Neil, but you are. I didn't even know you were sick, and then I'm like, Obi, dude, I feel like Neil should be filling in for you, right there. But thanks to Obi for doing that as he continues.
Someone has a question about SoFi.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
And SoFi is like yuck. I know I just finished saying if you're down on a day like today, that's not good. I believe that to be true, but it's not often that you see something making an all-day test of the trend. So, anyways. Here, first things first, SoFi's pullback is almost to the 50-period moving average now. So the pullback from 30, you've almost made a full 20% retracement from the highs on SoFi. It's really close. It might, depending on where that top wick is, it might have actually tagged 20% down on SoFi. So the time for a turn feels like it's coming. It really does feel like it's coming in, and it's at a pretty big support level. This is yesterday's lows as well. So you got yesterday's lows, the 50-period, 20% pullback. I actually like this for a shot breaking like 25.9. I mean, if it can close above the trend line, I'd probably just enter on a close above the trend line or a 25.90 break that I can give to the prior bar low. Do I think this gets to the volume weighted average price this afternoon? Not really, but that's a good level and a good trend break for SoFi. Personally, I don't know if I'd be buying it up here on the daily. Like personally, if I didn't own SoFi and was looking to get into it, yeah, I'd probably pick up 10, 20% of what I consider to be a position, and then I'd wait for a bigger dip. But that's easy for me to say because I own it from a while ago. But that's just, I don't know if I really want to buy it all the way up here. Like, not a full position, maybe 10, like I said, 10, 20%. But for the day trade, just going to look for the trend break right here on SoFi. I'm just going to turn my head because I'm curious what is that sound?
They're running electrical.
That's a weird sound. Oh, I see.
There's a lot of weird sounds happening over here. You could see, look at that wall that is being built. Like, this is insanity around here.
We're building a time machine.
Don't tell everybody, dude. That's how we can get these trades working for us.
We're
going to go ahead and see like where Intel's going to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we could get Derek, can you give me that Eli Lilly news again? Because I just go ahead.
It's weird, and it's actually not really that related to Lilly, but either way, yesterday, Pfizer announcing that they're going to cut their drug prices in the U.S. with the Trump RX thing, right? Where you can get these discounted drugs online. Now, Trump said that Lilly is terrific, and he kind of implied that Eli Lilly was already in negotiations with the administration and that they'd be announcing a deal soon. Furthermore, he indicated a couple times that the next deal announcement could be coming as early as next week. We didn't specify what company. There were, I guess, there was enough indicia to imply that the next company could potentially be Eli Lilly, or at the very least is down the line. So long story short, because of the comments that were made yesterday and because of David Rick, CEO of Eli Lilly's, I guess, open relationship with Trump, they've very much been in communication. People are assuming that Eli Lilly is likely to be making a drug pricing related deal with the Trump administration very soon. That's why this is up.
Thank you very much, Adara. I want to answer this question here because Azhar asked, what is the indicator you looked at for Reddit at 166? No worries, I'm pretty sure. Here, I got to go over to my my daily chart. So if you look over on a daily chart, this is a 200 period moving average on a daily. It's actually 163-ish, simple moving average. But then if you actually look over here, like this prior high, and where it broke out from, and then this resistance here in March, that's a little closer to the mid 160s, right? So I think anywhere in that range, they're just lines on charts. So whether you say 166 or 162 doesn't really matter. You're lining up this resistance with this high and that breakout and the 200 period simple moving average on Reddit. And I like confluence like that. But here's the thing, like it's at 206. So like it's all well and good. Like, yeah, if it got there, I'd probably be a buyer of the stock, but talk to me when it gets there. It's nowhere close to that. I think there could always be an opportunity to buy it a little bit higher. I would just be waiting for Reddit here because I think it just lost some big support, and I wouldn't want to be picking it up just yet. That new IPO was awesome. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for the open. I don't think I was going to take any real size on Fermi, to be honest with you guys, but probably should have had the opening print on FRMI, and if only because there was like tie-ins to the Trump administration, energy. Who was it? Now I forget Rick Perry?
Yep.
Rick Perry. Like Rick Perry, who actually ran for president too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so
he had a crazy, I only remember that guy because
he's the guy.
He had a really bad debate or something.
That was the guy, and he had to pull out.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah,
that's
he was like made a fool of himself or something, and I can't remember exactly what it was.
Well, he's laughing now. Because I think he owns like over 10% of that new IPO. Let's go to Adair.
Thank you so much to our friends at Beta Pro by Global X Canada, because we have exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple levered ETFs, which offer 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P and TSX 60 semiconductors and U.S. Treasuries. But even better, they are offering a special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, which provides a performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equities indices. So if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader who's looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily. That's betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn more. Back to you.
He's a human being. Oh, so I looked it up. It was he basically said there's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone: commerce, education, and the what's the third one? And he couldn't remember the third one. Rick Perry.
He was also played by Bill Hader on SNL, and it was like really good.
Bill Hader's pretty jokes.
Bill Hader? Yeah, he had a great. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, you know who?
He's what's that show that he?
I know you don't watch Shannon Sharp, any of his club shows.
No.
But there's an interview. He's done 2 of the Wayans brothers. He did Marlon Wayans.
I saw those guys live.
And Damon Wayans.
Yeah, I saw Damon Wayans.
Who, like, if you're a fan of In Living Color, like Damon Wayans.
I saw those guys in Vegas. I know you've never been there. I don't.
No, and Damon Wayans is probably, like, if there was one comedian outside of Dave Chappelle that I would want to see live, like Damon Wayans would be one of those guys. Like, he was so brilliant, and I loved In Living Color. But his interview on Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp was actually really good. It was pretty cool because if you're into, like I said, if you're into In Living Color. Fantastic. More money, more problems. That was a good movie as well. So only really into SoFi.
What was that Bill Hader show again?
It was SNL.
Barry.
What?
Barry. Yeah, he's a contracted killer. It's like one of the best shows.
What?
It's
like right now?
Yeah, well, it's 3 or 4 years old.
What's it
maybe
called?
More than that. Barry. That's his name.
I've never heard of it.
It's a good show, man. You should, if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's funny.
Where can I? Oh,
really funny.
It's on Crave.
It's probably 3 or it's HBO or Showtime or something. Okay.
Literally adding it to my list.
All right, yeah, add it to your list immediately. All right, so Intel up to $40, $40, I wish, maybe eventually, up to 35, 40. Just look at this, just riding this up. You know, roller coaster up, eventually roller coaster down. But there it is right now. We'll take that. We'll take that for what it's worth. Nice move there on it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Nick says watch Barry. I promise. Yeah, it's a very, very good show.
Literally right now, I have Barry up. I'm adding it to my list. Boom, added it to my list.
You're good on that one. It'll be a good one. You'll like it. It's
after I finish Peacemaker.
Oh yeah, I haven't.
You need to watch.
I haven't. I've only watched a few episodes of that.
Cena is so underrated as a funny man.
No, he's not that underrated.
You think he gets credit for being funny?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of big movies.
I hope so. Because
yeah. A lot of big funny movies.
I'm going to make a controversial statement. Here's my controversial statement.
What is it?
I find him funnier than The Rock.
The Rock's not funny at all.
Okay,
so that's not controversial.
Well, like when I watch.
I mean, the guy did Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, when I watch him in those types of roles, I just find Cena is authentic.
What
he's
comedy
more
has Rock done?
No, but he plays the whole. He was funny in Get Shorty with John Travolta. He played.
Oh, but that is. Did he?
That was really.
That
old.
was so. That's so
he
long.
played. Oh, his character was.
Get Shorty. That's 25 years old.
Is it 25?
Get Shorty.
Is that old?
Was Rock?
Or Be Smart was
Rock?
He was in the sequel to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which was
Yeah, he's great in
Be Cool.
Oh, Be Cool. Okay.
It's a sequel.
Is it? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say because I know that that's old. No, he was great at like Moana. Like Rock is great. I love The Rock.
I just don't think he's that funny.
Cena. I really like John.
Cena was in that the one where he's faking like he's a friend of the dudes.
Yeah, he's in Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki
is one of the funniest movies I've seen.
Dude, I was dying.
5 years.
I was dying watching.
What the hell's Black Rabbit? Is that another movie? Maybe there's some. Oh yeah, Kevin Hart. Yeah, there was one with The Rock and Kevin Hart, wasn't there?
Yeah, he did that CIA movie with The Rock.
CIA movie, something like that.
Yeah,
Central Intelligence.
Yeah, that's.
All right, maybe The Rock is funny. I just couldn't think off the top of my head. I couldn't think of any. But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it's that hard of a statement.
But I chuckle just even trust me. The thing like Cena's jokes.
He's in Cock Blockers.
Yep.
Blockers, I think it's called. Oops, my bad. Okay, delete that. My bad on that.
Too late.
All right, sorry.
Too late.
But he's in Blockers, I think, and he's in, and then he's in Ricky Stenicki, and there's a few other ones. There's a recent one. Oh, he's in that one that's not that good right now with, Idris Elba. I watched it with my family. It's not bad.
The one where they're both like
They're both president. Yeah, he's the president.
I didn't actually watch that.
He's the president. Anyways, shout out.
Do you think that would be?
Shout out to hair transplants as well. Good job, John Cena, on that one.
Wow, you got hair transplants?
Yeah. Oh, he's admitted it. So if you watch him during when I was there at not Hell in a Cell, the one where he turned, and at WrestleMania. Anyways, people were making fun of the bald spot. Then he got plugged. So he's admitted it anyways to getting that. So shout out.
I mean, if you're an actor, I get that.
Yeah.
If I was an actor, like
like I want these guys to pay for. I mean. Wearing a hat.
No, because it probably affects your ability to get roles and stuff. Like.
Oh, for sure. I would think so. Or you just got to go bald.
If you're a brother, it's easy to go.
You just got to go bald.
It's easier to shave your head.
Like The Rock. You just got to go bald.
David. Oh, it's not a. I thought this was going to be a super chat for one of your trades, the afternoon trade. However, trying to work here, but what's up with the new multi-screen thing in the background? Can we get a close-up? Well, I don't know if these cameras can give. Okay, well, we do have a shot. There you go. So there is your close-up shot of Mark and Rob, well, not anymore, working on whatever it is back there that you will find out eventually. Not telling. But you might already know.
I think I've already mentioned it.
I think they already know.
I'll just keep it at that.
It's going to be rather large, obviously. I feel like it's going to be like the Starship Enterprise.
It's going to be something.
We literally are going to look like the set of
I said this is going to be the best set of all time.
It will look like the set of Star Trek, just configuration-wise, exactly the same.
Wait a second. What levels are Eli Lilly even at right now, by the way?
It's well
I
past
have to trim
800.
this.
It's well past.
No, not yet. Okay, so it's just breaking out.
No, not till 900.
My problem is that, see, this is the chart that I just saw, my E-signal chart, and I was like, whoa, are we at those levels? But no, that just goes back to July. So, yeah, I thought we were at bigger levels than that for Eli Lilly. I like it. 9 all the way up here. This is where the trimming starts for Eli Lilly. 917, like 9, between 9 and 920.
Yeah, that's the hard top.
That's where we start getting out. But again, like, to be $200 in the money or so on that, and I know $200 doesn't mean anything. It's just you can take it away at zero. $64 up to 82. You know, this is actually the exact same move as Marvell made, actually. So yeah, maybe I should think about getting something out.
I missed 2 super chats, but also something big. Another 50 Trader TV Live gift membership from Nimrod.
Let's go, Nimrod.
Do you have the page up?
Yeah, I just actually wanted to show everybody this.
Okay,
this is why it's so important that Nimrod is doing this. So right into here, we are now giving out. So it is, do I even have it open right now? I might have closed it. No, here it is right here. So this is our sheet here that comes out now. It has support and resistance levels. It's highlighted key important areas here for you. We talk about the quarterly performance, the guidance, the business segments, the strategic shifts, Bitcoin. It just basically breaks down the whole stories for you through our daily watch, right? Sharif works on this every single morning, and it just goes away. Trader takeaways are on here. See, here's the Lithium of America story. All of this is available to you for $5 a month. You got to hit join. There it is. For us, it says Canadian $5. If you guys can do this in the States, just go over to our page, hit join. I want to know what that shows you, because I think we just put it in, and because we're in Canada, we see that. It's supposed to be $4.99. If it's USD, it's USD at the end of the day. But, you know, it's worth it for that. Make sure you go over there, and it's worth it 100%. We're hearing BlackBerry getting a spike here on some sort of comments. Man, I'm not going to hear the end of it from my friend. Okay, good, it's not up that much. Who told me to buy BlackBerry ahead of earnings, and then it does this kind of a move. I hope it continues for him, but I was thinking that it was going to spike a little bit more than that. All right, Adair not seeing anything, so we'll get that Adair story.
I want to get to these other super chats.
Yeah, do it. Because I don't
first of all, thank you again,
it says $4.99 US. Okay,
thank you again, Nimrod. But we got Be Free, thoughts on TOAX. I don't know what that is, and I can't pull that up. You got 100, you think you might get 1,000. If that's, maybe that's some other symbol, but I can't pull that up, and I'm not familiar with it, so maybe that's a bit of a typo, and you can let us know. Ian Rispetto. This is just about the conversation we're having about Damon Wayans. Men on Film, Blaine and Antoine, that was hilarious. David Allen Greer and Damon Wayans, absolutely hilarious. And I love Tommy Davidson too. He was a classic. I actually met that guy at a baseball game.
Oh yeah?
It was like the weirdest thing. He was sitting in the same row as me at a Jays game. I have no idea why he was in Toronto. And I did the whole like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. You were amazing on that show, like that. Yeah. And I go the Wayans brothers and yourselves, like that was
all those guys.
David
Allen Greer was on there.
Yeah, and I told him like my dad loves your comedy, and he was just like, he kind of just gave the whole. He probably hears that all the time, kind of thing, and then went back to watching the game. But it seemed like a really cool dude. But then. Yeah, so yeah, again, Be Free. Like I said, I would love to look up this symbol for you. I just cannot bring it up, and I'm unfamiliar with it. So if there is a different symbol that you meant, just let us know. We're happy to look at it.
Nimrod also with a super chat as well. So this guy here,
super chat?
I mean, just thank you so much, Nimrod. Got into those Eli Lilly options a week ago, made 60+%. Right there, coming bearing gifts. Forget about it. And don't bear any gifts. Thank you. Just come by if you want to. Joe's going to get ready to rent out another bike, and you guys can travel around. And no, it'll be great, man. I mean, I wasn't able to grab dinner with you because we had plans. So give us a little bit of a heads up next time, and would love to, grab that dinner. But please, the gifts you brought last time, do not repeat that. But
and let us. I'd love to know.
This guy brought fresh cheese.
Oh my goodness.
Goat cheese.
Yeah, fresh.
This guy brought fresh olive oil.
And we got chocolate.
I just don't need Nimrod to be like, all of a sudden I have problems at the border. I'm importing all this fresh food. So. But thank you so much.
Especially these days.
Look, I think I speak on behalf of everybody. The super chats are great, Nimrod, but. For me, the preference would be the more membership.
Yeah, the memberships.
Because we want people to get this report. We want them to be part of the community.
That's a real gift.
So thank you so much.
Give to the community, brother.
Right there. Yeah, some of you guys are seeing $6.99 a month in the US. I'm gonna have to get, so Brendan sort of looks at all of that. So I don't know, because there's some people that are saying it's $4.99 and some saying $6.99. So I don't know what's up with that. We have it set at $4.99. I know that much. Brendan had mentioned that. So.
But it does say CA for Canadian,
yeah, I don't know.
a month. So
anyways, thank you, Nimrod, for supporting that.
How could that be 6?
We really appreciate all that. So there. Dane says $4.99. I'm going to go with Dane.
Okay, there we go. I see $4.99 as well.
But I believe whoever says whatever. See, there's more people. Okay. I'm going to lose my mind if I keep
being
looking at the chat right now. So yeah, maybe your accounts are being tariffed, but I know that we have it set for that.
Oh,
so I hope Google's not taking more money somehow from all. Now I'm getting upset. But okay, let's just move. I just don't want anybody to. I want people to pay all the same price and the cheap price. That's the whole idea for it. It's just to cover the work put in to do that. That's all that it is. It's not obviously. I think for what it's worth, I think that thing should be sold for $20-$30 at least. But anyways, we'll move on. We're not about the money. So.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you look at you don't pay for any daily report in this game without dropping at least a couple $100.
Yeah, a month.
I mean, you've been in finance long enough, you get it is what it is, and I think we love our community and we want you guys all to enjoy and benefit from it.
There it is, $5.59 Canadian after tax. Anyways, I'm not going to
just someone asked in the chat, where was this about Neo? Neo's not having. This is the second time I've seen a few people mention Neo today. So I'm just going to say what I was saying earlier. With this, it's been fantastic. No questions asked. It's like you're looking to buy it at the top. Like this is October last year. The 2024 highs is right here. So like you're looking to buy it at the top and not breaking out over. Like it's one thing if it was breaking out over $8. Instead, it looks like it's slowing down off that level. So maybe it needs to like pull back into 7 or maybe back on trend. I didn't draw a very good trend line. That's my bad. I was really lazy about it. I just kind of quickly drew it in there. If I was drawing a better trend line, it probably works out to closer to $7. That could be a level that you pull back into, or you're breaking out the 8. Like one of those things has to happen. But yeah, I don't know if I like that one just yet. You want to be buying. To me, you want to be buying after it breaks out, or if it holds a trend, like buy on the dip. So come on, SoFi. Like it's so slow. Like it did break trends. So anytime something breaks an all-day long trend like that, I'm inclined to want to take it if it's been a mover. So I did jump in when there's your closing bar, and then there's the next bar entry, but it's barely done anything. Like it gave me an entry here at 87, and then it's gone literally no higher than like 95. So it's not really doing a heck of a lot for now. I got offers out there, so if we actually get a spike, great, fantastic. The other name, I'm still sitting at VWAP. I don't think Intel's going to get me to VWAP, unfortunately. Yeah, like when it dipped, like I got out break even, waited for it to maybe test VWAP in that prior high. I'll still look for that as an entry point if we do get any kind of a dip. I just feel like this is the kind of news on Intel that would really shock me if it ended up underneath where this broke out from. Like the Foundry story here is a big one that they've been waiting a very long time for here. And thank you, Be Free, you clarified. TAOX. Tau. Okay, so there we go. I'll have a look at that in just a quick little second. And Nimrod, I don't control who gets a membership. Just make sure you've subscribed so you're eligible. There you go. Just so everyone knows, that is true. Like when Nimrod is giving out the memberships, like if you are a subscriber and in the chat and if you've enabled gifts, then it just goes out to, I'm not even sure how it decides, but it just goes out to people that are active in the chat at that moment. So make sure that you are. And now I will be free. I will look at your TAOX. We're bottom picking on this stock. I'm not a huge fan of bottom picking. This is a recent IPO. Again, remember I don't know the company, so I'm always just going to be talking about the technicals. So there's accumulation down here. No questions asked. Again, don't know anything about the technicals, but I like accumulation because it tells you what other people are doing. And if it's an IPO, if this is like the recent bottom, you had an instant low at $6, and it's been holding generally that level. So there's all your wick bottoms, and it just retook and closed above 6. So find these wick bottoms, start closing above 6. Generally, you go long, giving it to the bottom, and then you look for the rally up here. Yeah, that makes sense. From a technical standpoint, I have no idea. I don't know anything about the company, so I'll leave it at that. You know, if you like it, I usually like that entry where you hold the low. Once it breaks and closes above $6, you're good to go. Sometimes I prefer if there's a 50 period to be above the 50 period, but it hasn't been around long enough for that to matter. Because if the stock hasn't traded long enough for this to know whether it respects the 50 period, then I don't care too much about it either. Like I just care that it held that $6 level. So good for you there, and congrats on that one. I keep seeing there's been a lot of questions about DraftKings today.
Yeah,
not yet. I wasn't here yesterday to see this drop, but I think it speaks for itself, and the continuation today also speaks some volume with it was Kalshi going into parlays.
Yep.
And that's obviously.
It was just yesterday. It was just such a dramatic.
It's not that much
move, and I didn't even notice this until the after show, or later on in the day. When we were talking about it. And,
another couple dollars. And
you know what though? Yeah,
like 33.
Wow. That's lucky. Honestly, I just gonna say like some trading is skilled on the swing side of it. I think most of it is, obviously, when you're making winners. But picking levels and sometimes just getting out. Like I still own some of this. I'll have to double check how much, but we got some out. We talked about it when it was up here. It's not like it's anything special. When we came up into this area, just like Intel could rip, right? All the way to like $39. I'm still getting out at levels that I think are right. And you're gonna make mistakes, right? The only thing that I didn't do was Palantir. I kind of stopped getting out of Palantir as it was starting to rip through the high side. So we are lucky enough to basically get nothing out all the way up here, which is allowing us to save some for right now as we approach all-time highs again. But I do think that like even now again, I just got some out at 180. So we got some out down here at 160 when it broke through that level, and then again right there at 180. I'm not going to do 190. I'll see if it breaks through the highs, and maybe we'll get some out at 2 bills. If it breaks 2 bills, fails, then we'll look at 2 bills, right? But I just think that you got to be, and then we just did the work on Eli Lilly, because there's so many stocks, and I've just learned my lesson and just becoming a better trader, I feel like with the weed names, with some crypto plays as well, especially when you're looking at some of those altcoins and things like that, like a Solana. Solana hits here. Let me show you another example here. So XRP, Solana, they're all the same. Let's just look at Ethereum because it's up here right now, right? Ethereum's past high, even if you zoom out, right? So if you go back here, Ethereum back in July made this high right there. That was August, sorry. This high we're talking about right there, 4,100, right? So there it is, there it is, there it is. On the way back up, I was not in this. I got out way lower on Ethereum. I got out here at 2,500 at this level when it broke right there. That's when I got out. So if you got some out right there on this level, you don't know that it's going to 5,000. So what you do is you try to get out of whatever percent you think. So for me in this situation, let's just say I had 100% of the position and it came right up to here. That's a 20 to 25% out because it's there. Then when this is extension, now the next time this comes up, if I still had some 4,600. I'd be probably looking to get something out. And if it extends through, sure. It's not a way, you're not going to get rich off of this, keep getting out every time, but you're going to put money in your pocket and you can wait around for the next trade, right? And a good example, then I'll throw back over Solana. There it is. Got to spell it right. Solana. Let's just go Solana.
You don't have to spell it right. Just go SOL.
Yeah, I did SOL, but some other things are coming up there. I was just going to say, this is Solana's past highs, again, and we just got up to there. So that should have been an out at 250. You know, like we had recently bought at 200 right there. That should have been. So the next time that happens, we should be getting more out of Solana. So I don't really playing favorites with stocks or crypto. I just think once you hit certain levels, you should, as a responsible trader, think about taking something out. And again, to each their own, but this is not financial advice that anybody else should do other than myself. But that's what I'm doing every single time it comes up to there. So I saw you hit the key this right now on Intel, because again, it came up to that level and you admitted, you missed it last time.
Well, I was off. The thing is, on the day, the first day, I was off. I have an offer. I probably actually... Yeah. I still have that offer.
And nothing wrong with missing it by 50 cents.
I just realized I actually didn't cancel that other offer, but whatever. It's like $2. It's not going to hit today. I'll just cancel it later. So I missed it on that other day because I had an offer higher by 50 pennies. So I just said, well, if it's going to spike up close enough again today, I'm just going to take the 10% off now because you don't want to have missed it. And you know, like it is what it is. But I wanted to go back to DraftKings because just to finish the thought on DraftKings, on a weekly chart, like DraftKings. Like it wasn't as obvious, but on a weekly, this looks pretty good at $30. So this gets into the 30 level. I think this was one where, you know, you just buy a little bit of the dip, and it gets worked, like what? Once, twice, maybe you get a third dip into 30, and both times it's gotten at least to that 45 range, sort of obviously. That's not a bad move on DraftKings, so it makes a little bit of sense there.
There was a seller
for DKNG.
Now, someone in the chat just said you can see that seller on Intel. It's up to 2 NY cents. Yeah, so I just got some out at 40. I feel like it's bouncing off there. I did not see size. You're not really looking at Intel, I don't think, as much as me.
I didn't see.
You're not even. Okay, so was there size on here? I didn't see. But you know what? Honestly, I was just going to say something. Here's 2 NY cent. You guys, thank you, Nimrod, for these. I don't know if they're all gone or not. I have no idea how to tell. If you have to get it set up, maybe someone in chat could explain. We used to have Bears versus Bulls.
He knew how it works. I know.
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly. I think you got to go into your YouTube account and say enable GIFs or something like that. But anyways, thank you so much for that. And remember, everybody now is going to get a link to subscribe or to hit up the new form watch list that we do have. So that's going to be great. But yeah, the Bulls versus.
I just asked Google AI if it gave me.
Okay, good. Google AI will.
So I'm literally just going to read it to you guys. To enable GIFs, go to the channel page, click the join button. So we've shown that. And in the pop-up window, click the 3-dot menu, which is more options, and select GIF settings and to turn on allow GIFs.
Boom.
So once you have done that, and literally I just typed in how do you enable GIFs on YouTube. So literally anybody could have done that, but hey, I'll do it for you. So the next time that Nimrod or anybody does that, you have the opportunity to get what I think is a great gift. Because knowledge is power, especially in these markets, and you might as well take advantage of it. It's there, and it's cheap, so might as well take advantage. I just saw Amazon starting to roll over a little bit here. Just a little bit of a dip. Amazon, pretty solid day. What did it do? I'll show you. There it is. Amazon bounced again off the 200-period moving average. Someone asked me this morning, hey, would you buy Amazon at this level? And my answer was, well, I kind of already did buy it when it bounced off this level the first time. So my answer was no, but not for not liking the level. It was just because I already did, so I'm not looking to do it again. If I buy Amazon again, it's probably at the end of the year or the beginning of next year. Like if I'm dip buying something, I tend to do it somewhere around quarterly. Like I'll buy it after earnings once, and then I'll buy it sometime after the next earnings as well. Unless something crazy happened, maybe I would. You know, like if by the end of the year, the stock is trading at $160, but I haven't bought it, I'd probably just go ahead and do it. But most of the time, I like to give it a little bit of a heartbeat for sure. So yeah, Amazon trying to buck this trend. The all-day trend line might be going here on Amazon, but the Nasdaq's not really showing too many signs of giving up here, looking pretty strong overall. But if I do this, it's kind of cheap to call it the all-day trend because I'm throwing out this ridiculous candle at the open and just taking the first highs. That's a pretty distinct trend break at 222. Kind of missed it by 30 cents, but it could, if it pops up and shows you a good lower high, this might make sense for a little bit of a reversion back into the volume weighted average price here on Amazon. And tendies, I don't disagree with you here. Where is it? Amazon, the high disappointment. Yeah, like we were talking about the rotation, like Amazon and Meta, And it's like these Mag 7 are just taking turns.
What does that mean, the high disappointment?
I don't know, maybe it's not as good as the other Mag 7 names.
Falling off from its highs? Yeah.
Or, I don't know, like
it's one of the only
strong.
Mag 7s near 200 period. The other one's broken through it, right? I mean, Tesla's nowhere near it, obviously. Google's nowhere near it. Microsoft, Meta.
NVIDIA is strong today.
Not. Meta's 660 is its level there. And then the only one I wanted to see was, when NVIDIA's not there.
Microsoft.
What are the? Microsoft.
No, but Microsoft is strong.
Oh no, I know, but I like Microsoft for the break.
It's gonna break.
I just wanted
tomorrow.
to see where. It's 520 is. Yeah, it's going to break right now. Where's the 200 period? It's probably around here, 470. Let me see where this builds up. Ooh, 450. Okay.
Not even close.
So we're not even close. So yeah, Meta, and Amazon are the ones there. And then if you even look at Google right now, GOOGL. That's what I'm invested in right there. This had a nice move back today as well. So Google, up 1%. Right, wow. This market, government shut down for real? Okay. There it is. Yeah, nowhere near, I don't think, the 200 period moving average for Google either. I mean, if the 50 is right here, the 200 is down here somewhere. So, so far so good there for anybody trading on Google. Nice high. Wow, there it is, 185. So, yeah, nowhere near. You want to buy names on the 200 period moving average. Even the Nasdaq right now is not. Everything is pretty much blast city right now to the upside. So this is why I'm saying, I feel bad raising money at these levels, but I don't know. I feel like it's the right thing to do. And I'm getting mostly out on the swing account, not on anything else. The long-term stuff I'm trying to keep in there. I like some IBM as well. Okay, let's just keep on moving on here. We have the stock visualizer here. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it today or since we've been doing this after show here, afternoon show. Yeah, LAC, the big one there, 223. So I think a lot of this is from the morning, right? And then Tesla's up at 460. What a great mover that's been all day still. BBAI, let's give it up for Big Bear, man. Shout out to the Army. Let's go, man. I like BBAI, so I might even buy some more myself pretty soon on that one. I'd like to get it more closer to earnings. Tempest, I know Neil covered that earlier. Apple, we got fooled earlier. We thought it took out all-time highs. It came within $2 of that, up to 258, 260 and change. They're up 0.7 as well. Eli Lilly's just been banging it today for sure, man. AMD, let's check out AMD. AMD got that news again from, and I just like checking out names that I'm more familiar with. But
some more Intel news with it.
Yes, oopsies, AMD.AX. I don't think it's in Australia or anything like that. There was news about the stamp tax
it's listed in Germany.
In Britain.
Believe it or not.
All new listings avoiding this new stamp tax, apparently, or the stamp tax on the LSE. Yeah, so there's that news from Intel. Gave a little bit of a spike, but came right back in there as well. We've done well getting out of Intel, by the way. Intel, another couple outs up here. I'm going to take another out ahead of 50. There we go. I just punched 47 by accident. Let me put a 49 out there and see if we can get rebates. And then we also got a 58 fill, so that was a good one. Let's put a 53. So 49s, 53s. We'll see if it goes back up to the upside as well. Missed opportunity for me is Alibaba. We're still long. I think I'm long 120 or so on Alibaba, so that's good. But I tried to add to this position at 150. And it was at 156. I put a 152. It hasn't come back since. So Alibaba, wow, smoking to the upside. I think that's going to come back. So I'm being patient with it. I don't want to push the button on that one yet. And then the other play that I like in China is Tencent. So again, both of these valuations used to be in the teens. Now they're in the low to mid 20s. So you got to pay attention to that. There's another out right there. Let's go. It's a chicken winner dinner. We only have 2 trades on today, man. And they're both, this is one of them. The money's really made right here, man, on the reload. So that's where, for me, the money was made here, don't get me wrong, but I could have gone red. If I got stopped out at 35 there, we talked about it, we would have given back about a third or something like that of our day. Instead of giving back a third, we add to that position. And now it goes back up there to the upside. 35.11s is now currently where we're long. And then the other trade that we have today is just short the Nasdaq. Someone earlier said, join me shorting the Nasdaq. That was probably about an hour ago. I don't know if you're still short or not. Jay Lee, it was. I'm not taking this. It's riding the 50 period up. The government shutdown was the reason why we went short early, and then we finally got taken out right there on the upside when we retried it. We got taken out right there, and then we got taken out there again. So we gave back about probably 20% of our day on that trade, but since then now made it back with Intel as we sit near the day's high for myself. So far so good there on the TQs. Big positive day again for us. So we'll start the day off. Like I said, we did have 4 negative days last month. And this month, we'll start it off 1 for 1, it looks like, unless something dramatic happens. I'm willing to put on some trades, that's for sure. So it's not that I'm not looking to get in. We still have this Intel, and it's a decent one. So I'm trying to be patient and learn from it, learn from my past mistakes of rushing into trades and getting just too emotional about everything. We don't need to do that. We're putting up huge numbers with a very controlled tempo. So I'm doing that. There's Meta, 2% down. Just to look at what's going on today. The health technology, if you look at XLV, XBI, XLV is healthcare, XBI is the biotech, also IBB. Some of this on the charts have just been going insane. I'm in XBI, so why don't we just look at that? All right, so XBI, nice move. Check out this run that it's had on the daily chart as well, once it loads up for us. Look at this. Boom, right there. So we were buying this thing at like $80, $90, thought we were in trouble. We were in trouble as it makes the move higher, but there's the take again, and there's the make. All the way back up, almost into all-time highs again. So this is another situation. Tonight, I review the account, maybe not tonight, but at some point, and think about trimming some of this. Because again, just bouncing its head off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times all the way to the upside. XLV also having itself a day, up another 3%. The chart's gonna look very similar, if not better, I think. Well, recently, all right.
It'll get there.
This is very
give it a second.
It'll
get there.
Climactic. No. So this one has a lot of room to go, actually. I thought this was somewhat near the highs as well. No, it's the XBI.
But it's the catch-up trade. Well, that was the one I brought up this morning because that was
a crazy headache.
It's the one breaking out right now. Like it's the one actually curling and making the break as we speak, as opposed to sort of catching the top end of the move. Like this actually, it's a little extended today. Like you needed to, if you're taking a breakout like this, you probably really want the 140 on XLV. But we're mentioning that this morning. Oh, Amazon. All right, Amazon. It does not. That's the problem. Like it broke the trend up here, but I wasn't looking for it until it had already moved down. Like Amazon seems like it's going to get to that VWAP. So another disappointing. I'm only calling Amazon disappointing because it's like even when it's having a good day, like see the Nasdaq how it hasn't pulled back, and Amazon here is already dripping going into the we're already in power hour going into the close, and you're already seeing the drip unfortunately here in Amazon. So I think that's a little bit disappointing. It's a weaker of the Mag 7 names. It's still bouncing and holding the 200 period, but you'd like to see it hold this level up above the low 220s to be able to make a run at that 50 period or something. But unfortunately, just nothing doing there for Amazon. I'm still calling that a bit of a disappointment. I wanted to see it do better than that. Seeing a lot of questions. There's been a lot about SMCI today, and I don't recall seeing a specific story for SMCI. However, if there's a chip name that gets the trophy today, it's SMCI, and I don't think it's all that close. 6.5% up. On top of that, this is finally, like how long is it taking for it to actually break out above this 48 level? They dumped into here and sold into the 200 period. Now you're finally breaking away. This one could be on a little bit of a slow mosey at like 58 to 60, but that was a miss. And sometimes when it goes without a catalyst, like I had no reason to be looking at this to be breaking out, and then by the time you realize that it's already on the break that you don't want to chase. But yeah, maybe you pull back into 50 tomorrow, but this is one that for me, you've been waiting for it to get above that 50 period. And now that it is, I'm happy to see it. So it's nothing doing on SoFi. Take the trend break, it goes one step, but that's the only step it goes. And my stop was essentially that prior bar every single time. So I throw the stop in there. Either it goes or it doesn't. I never expected it to get to VWAP, but it would have been nice to see it at least get to 26.1, 26.2. So SoFi not going to end up working out here. Unfortunately, is what it is. This 50 period is still going to be a bit of a thing. Like it is definitely selling off into a good support level. So I'll continue to look for bounce plays into that level, but you're not going to fight it. Once it breaks the stop level, you just got to be able to jump out of that bad boy. So let us know what you're looking at. I was going to restart. I don't know if it's worth restarting the tool.
It's probably not.
Like at this point, here, let's do it anyways. Because I want to see something other than all the names from this morning. So I'm just going to hit the fresh start and then just go $, like whatever. And then right away, West y'all throws in these three symbols. Sandisk, Micron, and STX, WBD, Amazon, which we just showed you guys. Amazon Amazon giving up. The first Mag 7 to roll over this afternoon off the highs is Amazon. Nothing really taking the lead. It's all like individual names, CQ Spy, Peloton, Oklo. I don't know if we talked about Oklo today. I know I haven't looked at it.
No, we haven't done anything nuclear.
OKLO, so that nuclear space.
It's going nuclear.
What's it doing today? Wow, charts. The charts are on the weekend already. Hey, that's a pretty good day. I'm only looking at the 3-minute because my daily chart, there we go. Just wait for it. Hey, it's catching a bid. It's not bad. You would have liked this to be a bit deeper of a dip, maybe retest underneath $100. But now Oklo's got a level here. Oklo has been holding. So this is 1, 2, 3, like 4 tests now, holding just underneath 110. This could be like the bottom that you're looking for. The only thing left would be, that day where it follows through and breaks out. But you got a level now, 110 on Oklo. Yeah, good shout out. Maybe that's worth a trade. Obviously, it was this morning. I don't love the stock as an investment up here. Remember, these nuclear names are not necessarily making money that's representative of the billion-dollar, more than billion-dollar market caps that they all have. And I say that as someone who owns SMR. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking SMR has some reasonable market cap just because I own the thing. So I think you got to take profit where it lies. But there's always moments from a trading perspective where you want to be able to pick these up. I think the 110 is more that than anything else. I wouldn't buy it up here in the long term.
Yeah, the market fading out just a little bit. So I'm just getting out of more of Intel. And I just posted it, man. It was my second trade of the day. Just 2 symbols today, Intel and the TQs, and green on the day. So far so good. Boeing hitting on the scanners right now. We had showed this earlier today to show you who's making the top traders here at Real Trading. Boeing breaking a little higher right now. Let me just review. Oops. Yeah, that's Brendan. What's up, Brendan? Hope you're doing well. Here we go. All right, this is who's making the money today. So this is available to all traders here at Real Trading. You could go into Trader Information Portal, tip.realtrading.com. Can't access it if you're outside of our network. So don't worry about the top there. All right, these are just different traders here by market. So these are the top 10 traders from yesterday. I just want to show you because we have the ability to trade over 60 different markets. Neil and I primarily solely focus on the US markets. And it's just, maybe eventually I'll go back and start to trade some Europe and all that kind of stuff. But like we keep saying, like when things are working, you kind of stay where you are. But for me, TSX, Nasdaq, number 2 yesterday. I'm talking lower because I'm getting developing this crazy headache I feel like right now. I don't know why. I'm just chugging this water right here. I've had some ibuprofen, not acetaminophen, in case this baby inside of me has any effects. Canada, Amex right there as well. Canada, Amex and Nasdaq. Amex, Nasdaq, New York. So yesterday, this is who's making money in the company. And yeah, we don't have who's losing the money, but we have risk parameters, right? And so if we can get shut down if we lose more than we make on average, like 1.5 times or so. So there are parameters. That's one of the advantages of sitting on a prop floor is the risk, although you're responsible for all of your trades and the risk is what it is. And some people don't like the risk associated with it, but it's worked out for many traders around here.
It saves you from yourself, man.
Yeah, sometimes.
To be honest, the people that complain the most about the risk are usually the ones that are blowing past their shutdown. It's like, what if I only had more risk? I'm like, well, then you just lose more if you're getting shut down all the time. Like, I find it's just, the whole idea is that it caps you so that you cannot blow past what your ability to make is.
Yeah.
Which, to me, it's like, who wouldn't want that? I think it's a blessing. Because when you're trading, if you're a retail, I've never had to retail trade. I've always traded someone else's money. Like you have to develop your own. It's all internal discipline. You don't have external discipline, or maybe you do. My understanding is that you have to control yourself. But if you're on a prop desk, you have a risk manager who is literally in your face, sometimes depending on the manager, or flat out getting shut down by the system. Well, that's right there. Like a clock pops up and it punches you out. And then you have to be accountable to it. Anyways, I think it makes some sense, and I like it for sure. We're gonna do the early looks in a couple of seconds. But let's go to Adara, come back, and have a quick look at the imbalances.
You keep an eye here on any of these health technology names. They're all super strong on the day. This catalyst isn't likely to be market moving, but it is worth noting. Politico reporting that Trump and his administration are delaying pharma tariffs in order to negotiate drug prices. Now, that's not super surprising. We know that, excuse me, yesterday it was announced that Pfizer gets a 3-year tariff exemption because of its drug pricing deal with Trump and because it's working on U.S. Manufacturing. But either way, it is worth noting, apparently, Politico reporting that the pharma tariffs are going to be delayed in order to negotiate drug prices. Back to you.
25 million on Rocket.
Oh, Rocket?
Yeah, like
maybe there's something going on.
Rocket. Okay, so anyways, I told you guys I'd look at the early look imbalances. Yeah, Rocket Companies has a 25 million buy, which that's not nothing. The entire day's volume is 26.6 million. The paired volume right now is 27 million. So the open interest on Rocket's imbalance right now is the same as the entire volume for the day to the buy side. And the stock just made a move down of all things. So I was just kind of looking at our notes that there's no action, like index action that I'm aware of on Rocket, but that's pretty big. So I'm gonna have this one on watch.
Daily?
What's that?
You have the daily volume.
Well, that's not the
volume on the day.
Oh, 26 million.
Right, so that's what it is.
Literally the entire day's worth of volume sitting on the imbalance right now, all to the buy side on Rocket, and I don't see any reason for it that I'm aware of. That's worth watching, no questions asked, especially if it's heading down, because maybe you can play it off the lows if this comes out as a buy. And we'll know for sure in 20 minutes when this imbalance comes out for real. But that's the only one worth watching. I don't even know what KRSP.UN is. It's probably a SPAC, so SPACs are... That's got to be a SPAC. Anytime I see something that's around $10, and I see like no size, and you go down and look in front of $10, for sure this is some kind of a SPAC, KRSP. But yeah, Rocket's the one to watch.
KRS-One.
Let's go to Adair. We have news.
Now here in GDRX, this is a stock that dropped pretty sharply on the Trump RX reports and then confirmation yesterday because they do, I guess, online pharmaceuticals, kind of a similar business to Hims and Hers Health. I'm seeing a headline here, Fox Business, suggesting that apparently the CEO is talking or considering partnering here with Trump RX. Now, it's unclear if the CEO said this themselves or if this is just a report from Fox Business, the way this headline is worded. But either way, GDRX popping to the upside. Looks like there is going to be at least an attempt at a partnership between GDRX and Trump RX, because we know, again, this company is going to be a competitor with that Trump RX website. Back to you.
I'm going to step into the world of that KRS stock.
Step into the world, baby.
KRS-One.
Legit. That was a legit track. So I'm going to tout tip, but this is like literally a page we have on Real Trade, so let's show it to you. Obviously, there was going to be something going on. Yeah. So Rocket closes his deal with Coop. So Coop shares in exchange for Rocket. Coop is now closed. Mr. Cooper Group. That stock is now literally halted and no longer coming back. So they closed an acquisition. So therefore, you get the Russell 1000 share increase. So usually, like what'll end up happening, and if you're at Real Trading, like we get those reports. I mean, I'm assuming there's no issue showing you guys that. Nope. But there's Coop. It's literally halted and doesn't really matter. But Rocket certainly, it could be something. So we'll see. Like if I do see, if I see that come out as a big buy, maybe it'll actually move it for us. So this will be worth watching in about 15 to 20 minutes or so. And Carl Geo, I had already said with SMCI that specifically there was no story that I was aware of for SMCI today. Could just be technical, maybe. Like it's been going all day long, and this is a pretty good technical break. So this has. Sometimes when this just breaks a technical level, like here, it broke, great day, broke, continues to rally. Got some short float on it, not gigantic like before, but certainly could be that. And Sebastian saying RKT has a 50% short float and a buy and balance? That could be 50%. I'm gonna look that up myself. That seems too high.
All right. I just put in the chat here. You know, not trying to gloat about this or anything. I mean, I just know you guys see this Intel trade. So it's just like, I don't know how else to say it, but it's a good one. It's continuously going to the upside right now. We really talked about why we didn't want to get stopped out there at 35. And there it goes, man, just straight up, like right back into those levels. It's working like we thought it would. So there's the push down, there's the move higher. it's just a good one. And I'm just glad that I discussed this with you guys. You know, we'll all, like we said, Neil stopped out, he had his trade, he had his plan, I had my trade, I had my plan, and it's just, this is what worked out, right? Sometimes, you know, you can hold it and you get run over, but I'm like trading with news. I like trading on support and resistance levels, and it all made sense to me. So there it goes, man. This is how you we talked about it, you know, be consistent with having your strategy and being able to hold on to trades for a long time and being successful with it. Well, this is just another example right there. So there it goes, man. Intel right back up to the high of the day. Sometimes you do have to believe in the trade and stick with it. And Intel could have really came back, but we had that VWAP trade. I liked it. It was a little slow in the news. I mean, we talked about a lot of different names here today, but I didn't really have any other ideas other than sort of what we were looking at. So I liked Intel. I hitched my wagon to it. So I'm just going to props it up to anybody else that hitched their wagon to Intel. Obviously there, it's been working.
And that's the best thing about Intel. It literally gave you 35 to 35.8 twice in the same day.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The same afternoon. And everyone has to have their own style. Like, to me, I reloaded it. Like, I played 35 to 38. 35.80, that was one trade, but the dip buy, I'm getting out break even. You always have to have your own stop. Like, everyone's gonna have their own stop. Like, I don't know what everyone's stop, I don't know what Sean's stop is gonna be, I know what my stop is gonna be. And if you get out, you get out. I wanted it back into VWAP, and it didn't come close to VWAP, unfortunately. So, you know, you take the L and that it didn't get anywhere close. If I think I'm wrong down here, I'd love to pick it up there, but then I'm risking 1%. In the afternoon, which I'm not a huge fan of that, but at the end of the day, someone asked, do you think it's okay to hold Intel? You have to answer the question, like, in general, would I hold the stock if I already owned it? 100%. I still own like 90% of my Intel position in my long-term account, which isn't a huge position, but it's very different saying that for something you own like a while ago and buying today and holding it overnight. So you got to be a little bit more specific than that. Like, personally, like, if I was long the thing at like $35, would I be holding it as a swing trade? If I'd paid myself profit and was just looking to hold on to a smaller percentage of it, sure, why not? But it's at a pretty big resistance level on Intel. Like, that's why I sold some in the personal account. Like, to me, it made some sense. Like, this has been a big wall here at about 36 bucks. And there's a couple of wicks higher, but that's about it. So I think this is fantastic news in the very long term for Intel, lining up a first customer, AMD, but I haven't even seen any confirmation that it's true yet. Like, I just saw that they might have a customer, which is great. That's far different from actually taking orders.
Yeah.
So like, if the story was it's a done deal, AMD, this is how much it's going to make for us, and this is the terms, these are the details, that would be a different story. But this is up on the chance that AMD is a customer, to my understanding. So that's very different than why I sold some in the personal account. Because how would I not take? If it ends up being not true, this could be back at $33 tomorrow. You know, I would kick myself if I didn't sell any.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Miss it the first time, get it the second time. I mean, that's what it's about, right? I mean, it did go back down.
And if we don't, that's the thing, we don't know if this is for sure.
No, I mean, I'm not. Even if it was for sure, I'm getting out there every time, anyways. I mean, I got out a couple days ago, right? And so I feel that everybody's pretty lucky to get this story to get back up there. So that's a great out. We talked about it the first time, and boom, like, there could be great news tomorrow. I hope there is. I really like Intel and think it can work out. So that's it. I recently bought NVIDIA down at 175, and again, like, no reason to get out of it, although, you know, you could put a little bit of that, 4, 5, 6% in your pocket if you wanted to. I think an options play for some of these names might make sense. I'm surprised the market's up today. I did want to have a quick look again at some of the financials just to see where we're going with those, because we looked at healthcare technology last time, and I meant to go over and have a quick look at the financials because, yeah, Weeble's getting hit today. So is SoFi there. Robinhood, I believe, is also getting hit today, although it did have a recovery at some point. No, down to 1/3. So they're all down 5% pretty much, all the big guys, all the sort of the meme kind of stocks, but I want to look at the big guys. So JP Morgan, if JP Morgan's down 1.3%, then yeah, some of the other names getting hit as well. I like Charles Schwab That's down 3 and a bit today. So, you know, in this space, we're not getting too much other than the credit cards, Visa and MasterCard, making some moves there today. Coinbase up on strong crypto news. So that's up there. CME Group down, ICE down. So that's Intercontinental Exchange. So that's NYSE. I think they own maybe 20 exchanges. I'm not sure. That might be too many. CME, obviously, and then NDAQ. I don't know where that is. That's the Nasdaq stock. You can invest in the Nasdaq, actually. So as there's more and more listings, obviously that's great for them and their stock. The more listings they get, the better it is. Here's consumer durables, not a huge amount of shares involved or stocks involved in this, but Ford, nice move. Ford breaking through 12 was a nice play. We can see if that is exactly what it's done, or has it done that? Yeah, so now up to 12.26. So there you go, right? I mean, different traders will have different expectations of their stock. And if you're looking at Ford, there it is right there. You could hate Ford all you want, but there's the clean break of it right through 12. And let's see, it did give you some opportunities to reload that. So if you really do like it, 12 will probably come again. And then there's the high that you're looking for, $14 or $15 there for Ford. So that could be another play. But GM and Ford, they both have P's under 10 bucks, as far as I know, under 10 as far as I know. But GM's been doing much, much better than Ford. Toyota Motors maybe looking at. BYD, if you actually believe this Chinese hoopla, BYD is actually getting killed as a stock. Look at Ford. Right now. Nice movement upside for Ford, for GM, sorry. GM already took out those highs. Ford's trying to get to $14. General Motors, man, that Corvette, the Cadillac, the Lyra, I think, or I think it's Lycra or something like that. It's a great little electric vehicle over there. The Equinox they have as well, electrified. So GM, nice movement there. High side. Cadillac, I believe, doing well for General Motors. So yeah, nice movement there as well. So yeah, ASML is a huge stock. There's so many nice stocks right now that you could be in. And we're trying to get more and more out of Intel. We only have 10 minutes left. Intel's still hovering near the highs, but Intel trying to do something maybe.
That GDRX that Adara just mentioned, now 25% to the upside, and still going. So shout out. There are still some people in the chat mentioning it. Obviously doing a ridiculous amount of volume relative to the day because it wasn't doing anything before the news just hit, launching their brand medication savings program at National Retail Pharma. GDRX 24% on the day. And on the daily, just look at where it's topping out. If you can't see the resistance at 540, then you're not looking at the chart. It hit exactly 539, which is right where the resistance is on the chart, almost to the penny, and it's starting to pull back. Adara?
Yeah, I mean, for one, I want to make sure everyone join us on the market recap in 20 minutes. At the end of the market recap, everyone will be directed to a new video. These have been awesome, so definitely make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out the video at the end as well. Yesterday, it was a really fun one on Nike. Now, speaking of fun, I have updated our TTV research, or I guess our TTV picks, if they're on TTV research on X, for the year. Now, everyone actually had a slight increase at the very least in their cumulative ROI at the end of this month, except for me. Mine was a slight decrease because I have UNH and Eli Lilly and Boeing. Either way, though, total average ROI between all 6 hosts and average 24%. So on average, nice little return here for the group. Again, you can check out this infographic on X at TTV Research if you want to see what stocks we picked to lead the year and how these picks are faring so far. Again, if you are not me, you are doing pretty well. Back to you.
Yeah, January 19th.
Is that the new one? Yeah, January.
I'm gonna look to see what the SPY is up from that point. Just this ballpark.
That's huge.
Where the heck is Jan? Oh, that's annoying.
Did she just update? She just
updated. She just had it up there. Oh. It was January 19th, right? Not crazy. It was somewhere around.
Whatever.
Yeah, like right. Just call it 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. Call it 590-ish on the SPY. And we're at 670, so that's like $80 on the SPY. It's not that big. It's like 14%, something like that. So just call it 14%. So 23 is better than 14, no questions asked. But the market's done pretty well for itself as well. And I'm just using the SPY for, like I could have used the Nasdaq, but the SPY is just a little bit more breadth, I suppose. So it makes a little bit more sense when we talk about the market. I know sometimes we'll say the market and we're talking about the Nasdaq. But that's just from like a momentum standpoint because you're looking at tech stocks. Really, it's the SPY that you should care more about.
Yeah, so I just retweeted that. Does it say what our picks were, though? Maybe eventually.
It doesn't say the picks.
Oh, it does. This one does.
Yeah,
when is this? This is, 3 minutes ago. Yeah, Palantir, Coinbase, and the Diamonds, the Dow. The Dow just made all-time highs yesterday. So I feel like that's probably a little bit higher, but she just redid it. So there it is, right there.
Yeah, but you have to remember that, like,
not bad, 73%.
You got to look at where the market was in January. Like, remember how far?
My real account.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the market fell a lot. So, like, a lot of things have, like, struggled to get back and have been slowly going up. But, like, if you time it from January, like, January was actually not even that great of a time to be buying anything. Let's be real.
Right.
Like, after April is where the rally came in. Like, you look at, I'm going to pick any one of the names here, and you probably were looking really ugly for a while. I'm just going to look at GEV because that's what I was in, so I'll be self-deprecating on that one. Yeah, like that was, like, January was the absolute worst time. Like, the stock was pulling back from the highs and, like, dipped all the way down to, like, 240. Still think this thing is a little frothy up here, but, oh, Rocket's already going? It can't wait till 350, could it? Apparently not. So this is still, let me just double check, still 25 million to the buy side. Nothing, almost nothing is paired off. Maybe a couple 100,000 shares have been paired in the last 15 minutes or so. And it's now basing off of some of these lows. I'd like to see this come out, like, make sure it's going to be an actual buy in here, but that could still have some room to go if we get a good bounce play there. But the volume picking up on this because there is a 25 million share buy imbalance on Rocket. We showed you guys their deal with Coop is closing. So the Russell 1000 edition for RKT. So Coop out, Rocket in. That explains the 225 million. And it's the only thing here that's really significant. Like, you got FXI, maybe TD, that's dual listed, so it doesn't really matter. LAC is a small buy, but a $7 stock, 800,000 shares is not going to do much of anything, I don't think. Unless you see that in the millions on LAC, you'll probably get bored with that one. And Ron, you're absolutely right. Pfizer is having a very good last 2 days. It was a good question. 2 New York cent. I like this question. Let's get to this. Can I ask, when you were a rookie trader, do you remember what your portfolio started at and what was your biggest trade before you turned your portfolio to 100K? I've only ever traded prop. So prop, you're constantly trading someone else's capital. So it's not the same as, like, retail where, like, you know, I'm actively trading my own account. So, like, when did I get to 100? The best I could do is tell you, like, when I got to, like, making 100 in, like, my actual, like, day trading career. That was sometime in just after, like, the first year, I believe. And it wasn't too far after that. But that's not the same thing, really, because that's just my commission and not, like, I'm not holding an account when you're day trading. You're just in and out every single day trading the firm's capital. So it doesn't really work the same way to be able to give you a firm answer on that. Because,
and then on
again,
prop, you only get, like, 40%.
So I'm saying, like, yeah, you only get a percentage of your profit. So, like, you know, if someone tells you, like, what's crazy is, like, they used to have a thing. Well, they obviously don't anymore. There used to be a thing. It's like, $1 million trader. But that was when your gross account got to $1 million. You'd get a jacket, which they told us we weren't allowed to get because we own an office, which I was still kind of bitter about. Well, the joke was we open our own floor. And so when we passed it, like, but if you're a floor owner, you're not eligible for the leather jacket. Oh. Which I thought was not cool. I'm like, yeah, it was a cool leather jacket. But anyways, you get a percentage of those profits. So it's not the same as when your account gets to a certain point. Right? So what I can tell you is, for most traders, the most difficult thing in your journey is when you find something that works and you are profitable with it, what happens to you when that thing stops working and you have to adjust to something else? And then how many times are you able to sort of go through that and still continue to be profitable? That's the hardest thing, because it's going to happen to you eventually. And you need to you have to come out of you have to be able to come out on the other side of that green. And that's what ends up being challenging for a lot of traders. Like, it was the easiest thing to graduate, be like, this is what made me money, do more of that. And then when that starts fading away, find something else. And, you know, when that fades away, find something else, because there's constant shifts in the market at all times. But yeah, shout out to Pfizer. That's a hefty 2 days. This stock has not done anything resembling this in a very, very, very long time. There's probably no point me even going back this far. But May of last year was the last time Pfizer had anything somewhat approaching these 2 days. This might have actually been the bottom on this stock, but not really that interested in it. To be honest, like, it's a long-term
I have
investment.
some shares in Pfizer somewhere.
I don't anymore. Pfizer was a COVID buy for me, and it was, remember the big the poker guy. There's a guy we got from the bank, and they had that one night at poker night. Big dude. I don't want to tell the full story. The guy that had a few too many at the poker game.
Charles?
Not Charles. No.
I don't know.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. I remember during COVID, he was just like, oh man, like Pfizer this, Pfizer that. I remember looking at it, it's like.
But during COVID, it made sense.
Well, this is the thing, it made sense, but then I looked back, man, it didn't matter what I bought. It literally didn't. It's like, yeah, well, I bought this during COVID, I bought that during COVID. Man, you could have bought anything during COVID and you were making money. So the real thing was, did you buy things that you could still, well, what couldn't you make money on?
I was just thinking there must have been some.
Well, the difference was, what were the things that held up on the way back?
It depends on,
That's what mattered.
What part of COVID did you get? Because
and
there's so
did
many
you at
stocks.
least sell? Like, to me, Pfizer was an easy sell.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, it was a vaccine play. So you knew you were never really holding on to it forever because this was the vaccine play. So you were just playing that bump.
Guys, it's like, you weren't here yesterday, but I told people to sell Robinhood. Told them to sell it. We talked about it with Joe. He had sold some while ago as well. And it was just like, when these things start to pull back, like we could be looking back at it. We're talking about COVID now, like it's that far away. Like it's not that long ago. We could be talking about an AI bubble in 2 years from now. We could be talking about, oh shit, do you remember when Robinhood was $140? Wow, man, now it's $25. Like this stuff could happen. Yeah, like this is, and it's not even black swan ideas. Like I just told you, this just happened. All of these stocks could get chopped in half, and then half again, and then half again. Like almost all of them, like you're just even if you're looking at a name like, first of all, coming out with these imbalances in just a second. So let's have a look. Let's keep it on RKT and just see if that one does anything right now. So here we go. 10 seconds now until the imbalances. Then I'll go on what I was talking about. So here we go. Let's wait to see what happens with Rocket. I think if it comes out huge, we could just punch into a long. I don't know. There it is. Yeah, it's a buy. So we'll try. Whoopsies, it just flipped over a bit. We didn't really buy that much of it, but there it goes. We are getting downside here. I'm going to get out of a little bit here at 96. I bought 99s out a little bit there at 96. Let's just see what happens there. There it goes. All right, so let's get out of a little bit more then. We get out some 08s, so that's good. So here we go. We're in Rocket, and there it goes, man. Nice move there for Rocket up to the upside again on this one. There it goes. Nice play there for RKT, baby. So it's a nice move there now to the upside. So yeah, man, we hit that one pretty good on RKT. And there it goes. Nice upside play. Google downside. So now we have 3 trades today, and oh boy, geez, man, let's go. What kind of a day are we having? We had a smoking day yesterday, 3 for 3. And Neil, today, it's 3 for 3 again right there with Rocket, with Intel, and with the TQs, man. So, hey, we're doing it back-to-back days. Look at Intel continually going higher right now. This has been a great trade on that, so we're happy. Let's get out another piece right here. I just punch out some 86s. It's a big day alert. One more time. Let's hit the sirens. There it goes, man. Big day alert. And hey, it's called energy. It's called winning trades. And there it is, man. It is a good day one more time as we continue to go to the upside. I'm not going anywhere, everybody. We're going to keep giving you guys these winners and talking about them. So there it goes. Intel, Rocket Labs, and the futures today. Banger of a day. 3 for 3.
That's why we gave Rocket to you guys, because you don't see a stock has an imbalance the entire size of the day. I'm out already. It broke out. It was pretty simple. Like it was 1992 or 93, and it goes right into the high. So right into the prior high, and then get out of it. The last time there was one of these, I remember it didn't really hold up very well into the print. Sort of these ad hoc ones. So, and it's also a stock deal, right? So if it's all stock, sometimes it's not going to be as crazy. But yeah, I mean, if at 355 it's still there, there might be a reload, because remember, when we talk about the imbalances, at 350, we get an early look. At 350, they're public for everybody. At 355, you tend to see a pairing event. So whatever this number is, which right now is 23 million shares, I would suspect in a couple of minutes there's going to be a pretty decent sized adjustment. I don't know what that's going to look like. It could be down to 15, it could be down to 10, who knows? But a lot of times if that happens, you start to pull back. If it were to grow at 355, in that situation, usually you just punch long again. So that's 355. I'll be looking for that. If it stays or grows, maybe you take one more long on Rocket, and if you can always put it into the closing auction as well. It's a New York stock, right? So you can use the auction to get out, and that buy and balance could be your out. Almost 50% short float was correct. It does have a big short float. So this is why we gave you guys Rocket Labs. Not often you're going to see something like this, 25 million shares. We'll let you know in a couple minutes how it does.
We're still in it, so there it goes. Big movement on Rocket, so we're still in it. We only have 15% left, so we're going to try to see if we can. We just got 17s, we just got 22s. We had about 40% left, and we just got it out, so it's a good one right into there. Right there. So we got 22s twice, I think. We did not get 17s. We got 22 twice right there. I don't know why. I thought I had a 17, but was that 17 right there? Yeah, okay, so those are, okay, so have 15% left. Rocket Labs, as we said, man, trade your own book. I think Neil's traded 10 symbols. I've traded 3. This is what we're talking about. Get your trades in there.
It's Rocket Companies, not Rocket Labs.
Yeah, Rocket Companies. Yeah, Rocket Labs. RKLB, of course, Rocket Labs. But yeah, there goes Rocket. Used to be formerly known as Rocket Mortgage. I had some plays on this during COVID, some options that went absolutely ridiculous during COVID. But Rocket Group, Rocket Companies there. Again, maybe another housing play. You know, if you're interested in that name. But yeah, nice move up, just another 4%. I mean, Intel's cruising, Rocket is cruising. Let's go do a read, I guess.
Let's talk about Trade the Pool, because they've got the Beat Ackman live trading competition, and it's here. So from October 8th to the 10th, every day Ackman makes his move. Your mission is to outperform him and beat his return. Prove you've got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th, broadcast live on Trader TV. They'll be here in studio. The Trade the Pool team live in the studio here, everybody. Over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs. $25K, $50K, even $100,000 evaluation accounts, plus surprise giveaways during the live show. Don't just watch, compete, beat Ackman, and win big. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you and start trading today. So that sounds like it'll be fun. 355 just hit. Rocket stays exactly at 23.5.
Intel is
exactly 23.5. Or actually, no, now it's 22. So it's starting to pair off a little bit here. But Rocket Labs continuing to go. Remember, there's an action at the end of the day here. So it does look like it's going to try to give you a second salvo as well.
All right, you just put, I mean, we'll just put it on the screen there. There goes Intel, now $36. 90 cents on this one. What a freaking hold on Rocket Labs. Like we said, man, everybody, please just trade your own style. You know, it's up to you guys. There it goes, man. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Have the trades in your book, and I mean, it's going large here. Huge move on RKT. So yeah, we're just using it to top off our day again. So it's nice, and it's going. We don't. What are any big names reporting tonight or anything?
Tonight?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Nothing big. Okay.
Nothing big tonight.
Okay.
Like Nike was. I mean, obviously Nike was probably the biggest earnings name I believe this week that we're expecting. So it's nothing really crazy tonight. That I'm aware of, anyways. All right. So you have a few things out there.
Yeah, good. All right.
Nothing too crazy, but we have a lot that we want to be able to discuss for sure. But nothing big on the agri or something like that. But the Nasdaq and the fact that, remember, we've talked about the shutdown.
Oh, I have something important to announce, actually.
The shutdown is usually a buying event, and it has been again today.
Tomorrow, it's about damn time, but it's happening live tomorrow. We have a brand new format. Okay, it's starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. So get ready for it is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Brand new format live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Join us, man. It's been a long time coming. Wanted this for forever. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be awesome. Neil and I, brand new format, 10 a.m. tomorrow. All right? So join us, man. And yeah, naked trading. That's exactly what it's
not exactly.
So, get ready. I know, Joe. The guys on the mid probably want that, but I'm more focused.
They want to flex.
Actually trading. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome format tomorrow, 10 a.m. Join us. Be here or be square. It is exactly what is it? People are already wondering. Perfect. This is exactly why we talk about it. And again, we'll just do whatever we want to do here. Dollar Club, right there. There goes Intel. So with only 2 minutes left, man, Rocket Labs, Intel, monster trades here this afternoon. I hope you guys have enjoyed that ride. We gave it to you. The moves are monstrous. We talked about that earlier today. Neil said something about it's hard to find these plays, and it is. And it's hard to hold on to them, and it is. That's why I don't ever hold on to a huge piece of it, but there it goes back there to the upside. So everybody, like, hopefully some of you don't have, as I point to the screen and you can't see me do that, but hopefully you don't have as many outs as this on the way up, but there it goes, man. Monster move there back to the upside, both on Intel and on Rocket. You pay to play, and we did that here today. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be very hype, needless to say. So make sure that you do join us for that. We're all very.
That is 30 minutes after 10 a.m. Eastern. We will always tell you Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Every time is 100% 10
a.m. 10 a.m.
30 minutes after the U.S. Open.
Yes, exactly. So that should be a lot of fun tomorrow. So make sure.
I got to go to this.
Yeah. Good job today. Yeah. All right, 1 minute left. I guess they never told Adara about the new format. Adara, it does not include Adara. So we'll just let you guys know about that. Okay, so here we go, man. Rocket Labs, just to move down. We're almost out of this. I'm going to put punch out right now. Or does it involve Adara? All right, so you guys got to join us tomorrow for that one as well. INTC, we're just going to stop, get some of this out right now. There it is, 35.96s. We're offering. We're looking for it, and there it is. We are now done. No more positions. Wrap up the day. I'll just do that. And then we'll go off and get ready for this close. So with only a few seconds left, yeah, make sure you do join us tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. And 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern time, brand new format. Been waiting this long time, very excited for it. And this market close is brought to you by VinFast. So make sure you do click that ticker there, VFS. Go look it up. Thank you, VinFast, for your continued support. 3, 2, and 1. Nasdaq goes out up 0.4 today. ES goes up 0.3. So big time movements there, considering the government shutdown, right? So very exciting there. Nice day today. Tesla, what a good mover. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those trades. Rocket Labs and Intel there at the end of the day. Apparently there's not too many earnings happening after hours. Novo Gold, I think, is one that's reporting. That one's been on fire. Gold's been really hot as well. Okay, thank you to everybody. We'll make the bell great again at one point, trust me, when we get that ringing back on. From everybody here at Trader TV Live, this is me, Sean. That's Neil and Adara. Go see what they're talking about. Ciao till tomorrow.
Welcome, everybody. You had late news with Intel potentially getting AMD as a Foundry customer. You had the government shutdown, which did start but did not cause panic in the markets. Markets up anyways, gold higher. You had NVIDIA making fresh highs, Bitcoin with a big bounce. Pretty much everything was buckling up and looking pretty good. Even Nike, after their earnings, able to bump a couple of percentage points on a beat over there. So a good look overall so far for today, and a lot to go over, especially there with that late Intel headline bringing it 7% to the upside. That's a big deal for them, potentially, with AMD.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably Lit Bhutan over there at Intel is hopefully singing Who's Calling My Phone a lot there. Shout out to Nokia by Drake, because he has been calling, or at least reportedly, AMD, Apple, Taiwan Semi. We know he already got the U.S. government deal and the NVIDIA deal. He's been a very busy man. He's only been with the CEO of the company for like 6 months. So his hustle is very strong, and I appreciate it. But either way, guys, in case you missed it, we know the Foundry business, which is a big struggle for Intel, to the point where even NVIDIA, who invested in the company, was like, we're not going to touch the Foundry. Jensen put it a lot nicer than people are putting it. But either way, the Foundry business is still a big struggle for Intel. Well, Semaphore reported that apparently AMD and Intel are in non-definitive talks. They're pretty early talks to potentially be a customer at Intel's Foundry. Now, you wonder what the motivation would be for this. I would posit it might have to do with the fact that Intel's got friends in high places, not just the government, but also NVIDIA, right? So AMD might want to, wiggle in there. Here's our fun infographic. I always post these at least half an hour, maybe often earlier, before the market recap on X at TTV Research, so you guys can get a sense of some of the headlines we're going to discuss. But Intel and AMD came in a little bit later, so it's not on here today.
Well, that's what we had to open with it, because you know that's a leader, and those talks, if they end up being concrete, are going to be huge. But you did have, look, I mean, AES, that was a good story this morning, although nothing firm with them just yet. And if we can go back, I just want to see that infographic again, just so everybody, potential takeover deal on watch here. If you're watching and wondering why AES was up 16%, it's because you've got a potential takeover deal on watch. We've had some big deals already. We had EA with $55 billion deal announcement here. Now we're waiting any day now. You can get confirmation on an AES deal, so that's a big mover. And then once again, we just talked about Intel getting a deal with AMD, but of course it all started with the U.S. government taking a stake in them. Well, that's not the only place the U.S. government confirmed a stake, because now we had confirmation today, Lithium Americas.
Yes, but to be clear, not the entire U.S. government, just the Department of Energy. I was going to clarify that because it's the same situation with MP. It was just a department of the U.S. government taking a stake. Either way, we heard reports that the government was going to take a 10% stake in LAC. They still took a 10% stake, but in a weird way. 5% stake in LAC proper, another 5% stake in that Thacker project, which you can, again, read more about. That's a whole thing on Exit TTV Research about the Thacker pass. But either way, you still get that investment, but maybe not structured the way we might expect. But, you know, there might be some unstructuring on watch for Zillow and Redfin. Hard to transition there. These stocks facing a bit of a housing crisis, dare I say.
Yeah, FTC lawsuit potentially. Well, that's going to put you in the tanker today. And, you know, obviously in a day where the market did pretty well. I mean, it was trending up and a lot of things were strong. Getting on the wrong end of the FTC has cost these guys 5 points for Zillow, and not looking good for Redfin either. So it's not all negative news here, unfortunately. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer, Dara, but if it was bad for Zillow, it's been absolutely worse for DraftKings. Not that Jeffrey seems to care.
Yeah, that note was weird. I read the note, and I read it a couple times because I thought I was missing something, but I wasn't. It's just, there's a lot of optimism that I don't really think is backed up by what the stock's doing. Basically, you can read a little like summarized here on our Trader TV Live watch list. I did mention that on there, but yeah, we were down like more than 11% yesterday. We capped down today, and Jeffries was still like, but we have a buy rating and a $54 price target because this is an area to buy. You buy the dip. I don't know if investors agreed with Jeffries, though, unfortunately, and I think with DraftKings, you have larger headwinds. Namely, the fact that these prediction markets are doing so incredibly well. Robinhood, by the way, guys, the top performer in the S&P 500 so far this year, HOOD, and that is true. They announced that their betting market is doing incredibly well, their prediction betting market, and reportedly they're trying to expand in Europe, too.
Money coming out of DraftKings going into Robinhood. I think at some point maybe there'll be a buying opportunity in Robinhood, in DraftKings, I should say. I mean, Robinhood's been one for a while, but not very good for DraftKings. And hey, mix your registrations for Tesla to steal a line from the rock. It doesn't matter about Euro registrations. Let's be real. Tesla didn't care about anything today, except for, taking names, and mostly the short side. So you can say it was mixed registrations for Tesla. We're still waiting. We get the monthly deliveries. They're going to be coming out sometime this week. Usually they matriculate in a couple of days after. So we still have to wait. So hopefully tomorrow. Usually we get them early in the month. But either way, Tesla was not waiting for anybody. 3% up today, closing very near those highs. So the breakout continues for Tesla. It's been strong. You got nothing standing in the way of the all-time highs anymore, except for maybe these delivery numbers that we're expecting in a couple of days. So yeah, it may be mixed in Europe, but it was certainly all arrows upside here for Tesla, Adara. And once again, we have a story involving Berkshire Hathaway and Occidental.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Buffett in the quarter, so excited. Basically, Occidental, one of their units anyway, Berkshire is reportedly considering acquiring. That would, if they do that, that would be their biggest acquisition since 2022. Also, I just want to mention something I saw in the chat. Stocks on Hinge asking about GDRX. I actually did cover the news on that, but GDRX popped on a big story from yesterday, tangentially. So we know Trump RX was announced. Trump RX would be a competitor of GDRX, which is kind of in a similar space as Hims and Hers Health. Then today, CEO of GDRX goes on Fox News, or Fox Business, and says, hey, we're trying to make a deal with Trump RX. It's unclear if that was optimism or an actual conversation that had been had. It seems probably more the former than the latter. But either way, it is worth noting that that is why GDRX popped. But there is one news story that really the market did not seem to care about, except at the end of the day, AMD popped, but more likely on the Intel catalyst. Let's talk about this bizarre little combo.
AMD and IBM with a Zyphra AI GPU collaboration here. Now, ultimately, any story revolving around AMD gets trumped by this Intel news and the effect it had. But if you have a look at IBM, it wasn't so bad. They almost got a couple of points today. And the truth be told, the boringly effective stock, man. Like, you bought the dip on earnings on IBM, and you're absolutely laughing.
That's one of your picks, actually.
Well, they print. Look. The thing about IBM is you get a strong dividend of a company that has a solid balance sheet and is making money in a core business, but it's a safer way to play in the quantum space, because if you look at them and Alphabet, then they've been in the quantum computing game for quite some time, making sizable investments, and any breakthroughs there, I think they can benefit from it. But you didn't have to worry about some ridiculous valuation as with QBTS. And don't get me wrong, as I said, I own some D-Wave in my account as a shop play. I'm not trash talking those at all, but IBM has been that type of a play for you, and now it's right back into some of those highs. Was this story the reason why IBM got up there? I don't know. I don't think it outperformed enough to say that it was anything more than the stock's been strong. The market was a buy off of the jump today, and it's been a long all day, more or less, because heck. We have seen this before. We've seen it play out where everyone's doom and gloom about the government shutdown, and what ends up happening is you just get a relief rally when the thing that we expected to happen ends up happening, and then it's the opposite, right? Some people say buy the rumor, sell the news. In a case where it's bad news, sometimes you get a relief rally after it's hit, because now we're thinking about how long is it going to be and what happened the last few times when we had a government shutdown, which undoubtedly right now, Adara, has to be the bigger story.
Yeah, the government shutdown?
Yeah.
There was a press conference with Caroline Levitt. It was kind of odd the way they formatted it. She echoed a lot of talking points that Speaker Johnson or House Speaker Mike Johnson had made in the morning. So she echoed a lot of those points. Then she brought in JD Vance to answer, or to make a couple comments and answer questions. Then she answered more questions. The formatting of it was pretty weird. But either way, I mean, you really get the sense that there's not going to be any backing down on the Republican side of things. They're going to wait to see if Democrats step up to them. Now, beyond the politics of this, which we're not going to get into, let's get into the actual impacts on the market, Neil, because there are a couple things to mention. Gold, casually, just like nothing, nobody's problem, just hit its 39th record high in 2025, which is pretty wild. That's gold futures. That is like legitimately basically more than 1 month out of the year, if you actually put that in, mathematically speaking. Bitcoin was also really strong, so anything kind of viewed as a safe haven did really well. But you know what might not be doing really well is the Federal Reserve Board, because they could be panicking. We know yesterday alone, Feds Goolsbee and Feds Collins both signaled that if we don't get economic data, specifically the non-farm payrolls, that could impact their decision-making for this next meeting on October 29th. So the Fed's in a bit of a tight spot. We know people really want these continued cuts, but a lot of Feds actually, including Feds Goolsbee, maybe especially Feds Goolsbee, have still been pretty hawkish when it comes to, is it the right time to cut rates? So the one thing that they've said they've really been acting on, Neil, is employment data. So if they can't get the employment data, do we get the cut we want? I'm not quite sure.
I'm inclined to think you don't, at least not in the time frame that you want. But you can't claim to be data dependent, have these two things pulling at you, one pushing and one pulling with the dual mandate, and then now you're going to get delayed data. Well, what would you be basing the decision on? You need to see some kind of a change, or you just stand pat when you have opposing forces. That's where my brain is at on this. But as you mentioned gold, let's not forget about the move that crypto had, because Bitcoin had been rallying into this. Well, Bitcoin made the break and finally got into that big resistance here at 118. And so we had already been, look, it was already bouncing. As I said, we bounced the last couple of sessions on Bitcoin, Ethereum getting a good bounce as well. But when you talk about the whole safe haven thing, yeah, we get it, gold's been a safe haven. Bitcoin has not always participated as a safe haven asset. And just because it's up today, I don't think you get the cover that that's why it was buying up.
No.
Because the Nasdaq was up and risk names were up today. So it's not so simple as, okay, I get it, gold actually more of a flat day than anything else, holding its gains. But the strength that we're seeing in crypto, I think it had more to do with the fact that we didn't go risk off in the market. The Nasdaq had a strong day, the broad market had a strong day, the chips had a decent day today. And so ultimately, Bitcoin gets dragged up with that. So I don't want to I don't want to put this into the let's cheer for Bitcoin as the store of value. I own Bitcoin. I want it to become that, but it just followed along with the trend with what risk assets were doing today, which was catching a bit of a bid. We had the crypto overall market cap well over almost a 4.1 trillion mark. So I'm not only talking about Bitcoin. As I said, Ethereum a good day, Solana a good day. Across the board, they were strong.
Yeah, I mean, one thing too that I just kind of thought of, it's not super crypto related, but with regards to, I guess, valuations, Elon Musk has become the first half trillionaire in the world. And I just want to mention that there will be an infographic related to that coming out or being updated tomorrow. But yeah, $500 billion valuation now for Elon Musk's net worth. Now, I mean, with regards to crypto, I talked about one kind of interesting catalyst too. Coinbase getting some individual love from BTIG Research this morning. They initiated coverage, overweight, $410 price target, said that their ability to diversify has been underappreciated. That is Nike, that is not crypto related, sorry guys. But either way, yeah, I think like just the crypto space could continue to be hot, but as you said, there are times where this really trades with the market. There are times where it really trades with commodities, and there are other times where it does its own thing. You never know which one you're going to get either. Well, as of late, it hasn't necessarily been super compatible with the market, but that can always change. And with that in mind, it's worth noting that the same kind of logic with regards to sympathy goes for the crypto stocks too. There are times where they will trade really closely with Bitcoin. There are times where they will trade really hard from Bitcoin. So take a look back, watch which ones, if you're going to trade those and not the asset directly, watch what those are doing. Watch which ones they're responding to more so you can understand which future, for lack of better terms, to follow as you trade names like Coinbase, MSTR, etc. Yeah,
and I think that's a fantastic point because you want to know what phase you're in. Are they following? Are they not following? So that you can trade them as best you can. Before we get in, I want to talk about NVIDIA, but before we get there, I actually want to jump to something else. And I want to thank the chat for this because there was a successful IPO today on the Nasdaq. Fermi did really well. So, I mean, just there's no other way to look at this. This Fermi IPO was fantastic. Rick Perry backed. It's an energy play. Certainly it defied my expectations here. It was unbelievable. And what's weird about this is its initial indicated open was like $30 at one point, and then moved down to 25, which sometimes seems like it's going to be bearish. And it broke 25 several times. It's now at $33 and still trading pretty decently here in the afternoon. Doing decent volume. Check that. 35 was almost a high of $35. So this IPO certainly looking fantastic. Mike Peter Ryder, I see you in the chat. You must have been all over this one and loved it. I'll be kicking myself because we've been crushing IPOs this year. They've been fantastic, and the open trade on this gave you like a free couple of dollar move. Like it didn't go against you till it ran $2. So you could have the opening print at 25.
That's beautiful.
And you could have just had, like I said, it would have been fantastic. But shout out to everyone that did take this one. A good-looking play here on Fermi. As I said, it's an energy play. It's an infrastructure play. It goes with an America First play as well. So that kind of a hype in the right space on the right day, and we have a winning IPO. And this has not been the way that they've gone. Like even the ones that have worked at the open, a lot of the recent IPOs have worked at the open, and then we get a bit of a dump. Yeah. This held trend all session long and is closing at the highs. It literally made a high the day 2 seconds ago. So a good opening day there for Fermi.
Yeah, I would say the last really good IPO that we had in terms of day one move was Figma, which actually closed at the high. And I think that's really the last one since Fermi to do that. But even then, Figma the next day gave it all up. So be aware of that with FRMI. Either way, that's one I will be watching. And I'm sorry, I have to make the pun. It certainly did better than Rick Perry did during that speech that he's become famous for. Anyways, yeah, interesting look there. Let's see if it holds tomorrow.
I have to, before we move on, there's one thing I have to say about the flub that Rick Perry made. You begin to understand, and this is something that I realized when you talk all day long and being on a live show, you're gonna make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
You make a human mistake. To me, I can respect somebody that makes a mistake and is like, yeah, you know what, I messed up there. Here's a mistake. This is what the deal is, and they're cool about it. They don't take themselves too seriously. The person that acts like they never make mistakes, like they walk on water, as if, oh, I'm never wrong. They make a mistake, or they act, they'll call out other people's mistakes, but they'll make the same one, and then like, yeah, they'll kind of ignore it. That's the person that I don't trust.
Yeah, don't throw stones at
That's the person I don't trust. So you can say whatever you want, but I look back on it now and I'm like, yeah, it wasn't the end of the world. And you know what? He's probably laughing all the way to the bank today. I think he owns at least 8% of this, maybe even a little bit more than that. So Fermi doing really well for him. But also, today, Adara, we didn't really talk too much about Nike, and I get it. Nike's not sexy like it used to be. Maybe it's not the brand that it once was, but even they thought they were going to have declining sales, and they didn't. That's good news.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's up 6% today. If they're telling you the tariff impact was going to be big, and it was,
yeah,
but they were still able to have a surprise on sales. Now, are they declining year over year? Yes, they are. We talked about the tariff impacts as well. It's not all good, but they beat on the top and bottom. They beat on revenues. Margins were a bit of concern, so it wasn't perfect. I feel like if the margins had been where they needed to be, the stock would have broken out today to 76, and we'd have a test of 80. That might have been the one thing holding it back. But you can't, 6% up is 6% up. It's a good day for Nike, and ultimately, the market seemed to like what they saw from the report. Can it hold on to these gains? That remains to be seen. We've seen it bounce a little bit before. Can it do it and break out $80?
Yeah, let's see if it runs up that Elliott Hill. I just want to see a little bit more from Elliott Hill. I said this I'm not going to belabor the point. I said it on the recap yesterday. I said it during the midday today. Like, this man was around for 32 years at Nike. He was around for the entirety of the fantastic Mark Parker era at the company, which lasted a whole 12 years. Somehow not even half of Elliott Hill's tenure originally, but I digress. The point is, he's been around for some solid eras at the company, and yet I feel like he can't really get it together. Ironically, Neil, the excuse that they gave for their gross margin weakness is word for word the same excuse they gave last quarter for their gross margin weakness, which I don't like. I don't really like it that much. But either way, it's worth noting, even with these solid numbers, top and bottom line, as Neil hinted at, there are still issues. Converse revenue down a whopping 27% year over year. Nike direct revenue still struggling a bit as well, down 4% year over year. China sales, we actually have an infographic on TTV Research that's just China sales for Nike. They're still struggling with that, down 9% year over year. The North America, EMEA, and then Asian Pacific and Latin America, slight increases year over year. But now they're also guiding larger tariff impacts too. So this report is I think good on the surface, but if you dive a little bit deeper, I don't know if we're going to be doing any slam dunks for this one.
No, you're not doing any slam dunks, but no one was expecting slam dunks here. I think people just wanted to see it not getting demonstrably worse. That's where the bar is at. That's where the bar is at for Nike. Just don't be getting demonstrably worse. It's trying to get off the schneid. You saw Lulu trying to get off the schneid as well. Maybe it's found a little bit of a temporary bottom. It could give you something. But we have to circle back because I know there were a lot of other stories today, but I feel as if in the next, certainly tomorrow, and hopefully we get more details on this Intel story, just to circle back to what ends up being very late in the day, the biggest story in the day. Intel, AMD in discussions as a potential Foundry partner. Now, you have to understand the implications of this. When Intel first said they were looking to expand their Foundry business, put a dent into TSM and Samsung's dominance in terms of fabricating chips, which well over 80% of the world's chips are made by those two companies. So they're trying to put it into that. They've been bleeding billions of dollars. Just last year, they told you that you wouldn't be profitable on the Foundry business until 2028, and they couldn't line up customers. AMD is a huge customer, and if they're able to actually strike a deal, this is a turning point. Now, I get it. The bottom was made when the U.S. government declared a stake. Fair enough.
Yes.
That's very true. NVIDIA has also put a stake in. That certainly helped as well. SoftBank put a stake in and gave them money. They need capital. Obviously, they need capital because foundries are expensive. But this is the icing on the cake. Because all of a sudden, that spend and all this money that they've needed to bring in because it's expensive to fabricate chips and build these plants, Now they've got something stable, potentially, with AMD to get some actual revenues here. So yeah, I sold some in my personal account today. But if there is a dip next, I think this is a stock that is turning it around here. And you've got the U.S. government saying we want chips made here. There was the 1-to-1 declaration. You better make as many chips here as you do outside. That helps them as well. You got to figure that that's part of this potential deal. AMD looking to get out in front of that. So, this is fantastic news for Intel. I think it's not bad if you rank some other register here today, but this is a stock that has turned the corner.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to be really honest. I think it's worth noting, too, Lip-Bu Tan has notably not been a fan of the Foundry business, specifically for Intel. Now, we know who was the CEO that was arguably very bad for the company stock. And as you can see, the revenue, because he comes in 2021 and then the revenue starts declining every year. So Pat Gelsinger was a very big proponent of Intel Foundry. With that in mind, I kind of find it hard to believe that Lip-Bu is going to be pushing the Foundry business that hard, even in his kind of adorable and awesome little press conference with Jensen Huang of NVIDIA when they announced their partnership. Jensen very politely, kind of friend-zoned Intel's Foundry business, and Lip-Bu wasn't that offended, and that makes sense because Lip-Bu left the board of Intel. I always want to remind people of this, roughly a year ago in August 2024, and that was reportedly because he had huge issues with how Gelsinger's running the company, and Gelsinger was so focused on Foundry. So I don't. Like I said, I think it'll be nice. You know what I mean? It's always nice when you have a customer, someone who believes in you. But I think right now, and someone in the chat pointed this out a while ago and I agree, Lip-Bu Tan seems a lot more focused on running Intel like a VC. He's trying to go out and make those investments and get those partners. And I don't really know at this point if getting the Foundry business super strong is A, in the best interest of Intel and the current strategy Lip-Bu Tan's trying to implement, and B, I don't even think that's something that would necessarily be super high up on his playbook. Now, I think if they can get larger partnerships, and that's part of a larger partnership, that's one thing. But I don't know, I think it kind of contradicts a lot of what we know about him.
Well, it has to because the government wants it, and that's sort of the thing. Too, yeah. And you have to remember a couple of things. Lip-Bu Tan is coming into is an engineer with a company with engineering problems. I'm going to shout out Harry Liu in the chat here because I'm just going to read what you said because I agree with all of it. Intel's problem is the yield on their fabs are only 50 to 55%. You can have good margins when almost half. You can't have good margins when almost half. You can't. I think you meant to say have good margins when almost half of your chips are not good. This is part of the problem. They don't trust themselves to even make their own advanced chips. They're still having to ship that out. So it's a big deal. And the reason why, whether Lip-Bu Tan wants it or not, the U.S. government wants chips made in the U.S. and advanced chips, and they don't want it to all be TSM and Samsung. It's great if they build plants here too to make them, but it's even better if an American company does. Yeah. And if that's what the president wants and Intel can do it, then I think that's a win. The issue is we had another great point in the chat, and this was Tony. Takes 3 years, minimum deal. This is exactly why I believe it makes some sense to ring the register on a day like today.
That's fair.
Because this is not news that is going to overnight transform the company. They still have a lot of issues when it comes to engineering, and they still have to sign this deal. Then it takes years for implementation. So we're still talking down the line. Yes, it's a turning point, but the finish line is certainly a little bit far away there, Adair. So thank you guys. That's what I love about our community, everybody. And if you're not a part of this community, to join discussions like this, jump in the chat. You have to be a subscriber to be in the chat. We love all the opinions that we get. And certainly, there's no such thing as a bad question. I love the fact that we always get good questions here. Sometimes our viewers will answer them. We'll try to give you the best answers that we can to the best of our abilities. And thank you, John Van Sowers. So smash that like, smash the subscribe for sure. That's what it's all about, everybody. And we appreciate you as well. There's one story. I know we only have a couple of minutes to go, but I kind of wanted to, if we could, circle back to DraftKings.
Yeah, let's do it.
If only because it wasn't all roses today, and we've talked, it's easy to want to talk about Intel being up a bunch, or NVIDIA making all-time highs, or the market overall being a massive buy, and Bitcoin going crazy. But unfortunately, DKNG, DraftKings is still, in the last couple of days, it's been one of the weaker stocks. And you had Jeffries with a positive note, but the real story was yesterday, essentially with Kalshi. Look, if they're going to be going into the parlay game and these events and event contracts. This has been bad for DraftKings. We've seen money going into Robinhood seemingly and coming out of DraftKings. And I just wanted to point out another really, really bad day here for DraftKings. I think it's getting close to where, okay, you're going to get a rubber band buy. Sometimes we talk about the gap up third day, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then on the third day, look for that pullback. Well, tomorrow would be the third day for the dip on DraftKings, and it's real close to a 33 level. So from a pure trading perspective, you got monster support down there. One more gap down or leg down day, and you come into support. This feels like at least look for a dip buy kind of a situation for me on DraftKings. I'm not married to, heck, if it's just gapping through 33 and I see no support, fair enough. Yeah. But, you know, you're getting to a point in 2 days to have already lost 17% is pretty insane here for DraftKings. We're able to get a little bit off the bottoms. But Jeffrey's note, and still down 6%, but you're coming in some levels, I think it's going to be a buy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, the Jeffrey's note kind of almost seems like, please don't sell DraftKings. Like, the vibe it gave, I don't want to say desperate, but it kind of was desperate. Like, they didn't change their rating on it. They kept their $54 price target, which is super lofty given where it currently is, and their buy rating, and they were just like, buy the dip. Like, it was kind of cute and sad. I did read the whole note. It was, I don't know, like, it almost seems like they're trying to, you know, they were like, despite recent weakness, I'm like, I don't really know if you can describe yesterday as a recent weakness, but no. Sure, Jeffrey's, like, I don't know, it was kind of sad, and I think, too, the thing is, it doesn't, like, I was seeing Benzinga at least attributed the move yesterday to Kalshi-related excitement and exuberance, but the thing is, it's not just Kalshi. It's so many other, like, there's Polymarket, there's Robinhood now in that game. Then Flutter announced a partnership yesterday, too, and that was even worse for poor DraftKings. So it's a really tough look. And it looks like we have to be wrapping up soon, so that will be wrapping up my talk on DraftKings. Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, that's the thing. You don't need much for a day trade dip buy. I don't own DraftKings in my personal account. I don't plan to own it in my personal account, but that doesn't mean you can't try to catch a bounce on a day trade. Want to shout out everybody in the chat, but here's the best way to do it, y'all. I've already told you jump in that chat. We've already seen Nimrod gifting memberships like they're going out of style. Shout out to Nimrod for that with another 50 here. But to get that benefit, to get part of the roll call from Adair in a couple of seconds, you need to be in the chat. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button. It's a subs only chat. Jump in there and say a big thank you to our entire community and to Nimrod. I'm just going to put in thank you, Nimrod, all day long for those memberships. And let's get some roll call. Yeah, thank you, Nimrod. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Neil, Sean, Sharif, Joe, and Brendan, and Ramin, Fabian, Andre, and everybody here. Brown Lightning, RFID Trader, Andrew Chow, Just Living, Apple Money, Yummy Thai Foods, Seth, Yatube, Mike Peter Ryder. We have Tamori, Why Not, Hell's Gate, Shamu, Ryan O'Day, Harry Lou, TH Bovin, Marlon B, Trendline, Tycoon, Travman, Denny Dollars, Derek Thompson, Patrick Irving, and LSTD. And guys, remember to stay. We do have streams after the show, and so you can check out awesome videos, live premieres. Definitely check us out, Trader TV Live here every day, and also sometimes very often after the bell. 100%. Make sure you stick around. We've got the Nike deep dive, and if you haven't seen it already, there is literally a playlist. You jump over to our page, Trader TV Deep Dives. The Nike one is coming in there today. You open it up, you'll be able to find it. I'm just showing it to you live, everybody. So check that out right after we end things. But remember, just because the show ends doesn't mean the story ends. No. Watch that Nike video. Rest up. Tomorrow, just more action. We'll talk more and trade more Intel. After that news, maybe some more Bitcoin and some of crypto, because this is what Trader TV Live is all about. If it's moving in the market and it's interesting, then we're all over it. Thank you to our entire community. Shout out to Nimrod again. Check out that Nike video, and I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. This has been your Market Recap Show, brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. See you tomorrow. See you guys. Fire Marshall.